And YouTube. Alright. Does it work? Why? But why? See, but why though? I'm not sure. Hello. I'm not sure what I changed and what I did different. I opened a new port and gave it a new address and essentially just tried resetting the StreamerBot server. Yeah, and now it just kind of works. How strange. And also I see the slash. It don't work either. Yeah. So I tried. That was more than 1 week ago. I tried setting up essentially like a backup font for the for when the font that I'm currently using doesn't have whatever we're looking for. Oh, and that also reminds me. Okay, hold on. I'll make a note. I just have to find something to write with and on. Big jet bond. Alright. Note to self. Anyway. Yeah, I think everything is running. I'm only 30 minutes late. That's what happens when you have technical difficulties. And if I start this up, I will be a different place from where we last left off, because that is the way of things. That is just how it is and how it works, and how it always shall be, and how it will always continue to be. I did see you know, while at work, you don't actually work all of the time. So especially when nobody wants your attention, you're free to just put on a headset or some kind of sound thingy-mabob. Oh no. Okay, so, yeah. So you can listen to yourself. Sorry, I was just opening the you know, the everything in the background. And is okay. The sound level is high enough. All right. I was just checking. And so, when you have this, when you put all of this stuff on, then you begin watching some videos. And I watched a video by John Strive Hayes, who's a great streamer. He's very charismatic, and good at talking and stuff. And he has been doing some streaming lately, and trying to figure out if that was something for him and if something that he wanted to do more of. While he was doing some World of Warcraft stuff and some Final Fantasy 14 also, I think. I pressed shift there in order to try and run faster, because that's just how smart I am. Yeah, and he was like, he's like, in his classic John Strive Hayes fashion, it was like, well, there are trade-offs and trade-ons when it comes to streaming versus YouTube, and you sort of have to choose one, because trying to do both is doing either one kind of poorly. It was kind of fascinating to listen to his thoughts on it. Not that I'm going to stop streaming necessarily. I've set a goal and I'm going to complete the goal, and the goal is to finish Final Fantasy 14. So I will be finishing Final Fantasy 14. Afterwards, maybe I'll take a look at whether I want to do the streaming or whether I want to, you know, I know I want to produce some YouTube videos, but whether or not that would take like all of the real estate attention. The problem with making YouTube videos is, good luck with that. Thank you. I'm taking that's a good luck with the. Good luck with finishing Final Fantasy 14. The issue with making YouTube videos is you have to be like concise and smart about what you want to say. And if anyone has watched this stream, which the two of you have, my most longest times of viewers, you know, being concise is my specialty, so I'm going to be amazing at it. And by the way, summer has especially arrived in full force and full fashion, and I have to put up the blinds. So give me a moment. I should have set the noise cancelling so you can be able to hear anything I'm saying. So while I'm hanging up these fake curtains, which are not actually curtains, which are just a which is just a bed covering that I'm kind of squeezing. Oh God, sun, which I'm kind of squeezing between the window and the windowsill, and I open and then I close it, and because it's way thinner than what I was using previously, it doesn't dent and break the window in itself. It also doesn't close off as much of the sunlight as it usually does, but instead what it does is, you know, it gives a nice ambiance. Wait, hold on. There's also, I should probably, you know, open the door to the outside so that my neighbors are really annoyed with the speaker for the next, well, not quite 4 hours, 3.5 hours, more or less. Oh boy. Oh, it's so messy in here. Who made it so messy? Yeah. So I get a bit of airflow and there's more shade, so I don't get blinded. When you don't want us to hear you, also we can't really hear your rant. That's good. That's fine. That is optimal, in fact. I mean, the intention was not necessarily for the rant to... there's no difference whether or not I'm ranting to myself and it's like faded off in the background, because is it really worth listening to either way? Oh my goodness, they have... What are those cats called? No, it's a... I know it's like a... it's a Moogle, which is the in-game representation of it, but there is like the cat with the arm that goes like dunk dunk dunk, and that they have all over the place in Japan, that gives like good luck. The Neko charm or something. What else does he have? Hold on, I'm looking at his... I pressed the wrong button. Here we go. First person mode. Now that is a terrible blade. Look at how thick the crossguard is. Impossible to use. And this thing is... yeah, it's ornate. It doesn't have much of a purpose, but you can see that on like the golden thingamabob. It's one of those Chinese all-you-can-eat restaurant cats. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a spear with a fleur on it, which, you know, I don't know what that means, but it's like it's supposed to stop things when you stab into it. Not that this enormously flat base wouldn't be able to stop whatever you stabbed into. And this is a regular flint. Oh, well, with Tekopine in the chat, he'll know that I'm wrong. So I'm just going to call it a flintlock and ignore that he's going to, you know, tell me that that's not the case. It does look kind of flintlocky because it has the thingamabob up here. But it has like... it looks like it has some weird loading mechanism. And it has the flared outside gun. Anyway, this is, you know, this is the type of gun that you would sell to the Japanese. But we have to remember, this is not Japan. This is Kugane. It is completely different, as you can clearly see from the way that it's shaped and the way that it doesn't have Mount Fuji right here. By the way, this is the Japan the Japanese wish they had, because they don't have the northern part and they don't have Hokkaido up here. And there's no Russia. This is like Japanese historical fantasy. Imagine if we had no enemies and China was weak. God. Wow, that is actually like kind of sad. I was gonna make a joke about the flared part of the spear, but that joke is for white women. Yeah, because only white women use sex toys, as we all know. Why would any other... like, that's because it's That's, yeah. I certainly don't have any, yeah. Apropos, toys. That's a swordfish. Why, wait, why isn't the swordfish with the other swords? Also, what is this? Is that like a mortar and pestle, but you have like 15 pestles? Ooh, he's collecting rocks. The frickin'... And he just has like 2 bars randomly. Wait, there's no covering for the teapot. Oh, disgusting actually. And the polygonal fine china. He does have armor. Of course, only breastplate. The crayon collection. Oh, he's eating them. The rocks. Yeah. That rocks. More rocks. He really likes rocks. Then he has... Yeah, the cabinet. You know... It actually looks incredibly empty when you take a proper look at it. Maybe that's because the... In the housing unit that we've made, I've filled up my my apartment, my room, but with so much stuff, because I like having a lot of stuff. I'm a maximalist at heart, because the more stuff you have, the more clutter is in your life, and the less you have to, you know, consider all of the big questions. And we do hate big questions. Oh God, I've talked myself into needing water. Just give me a moment. You know, I have one of those big IKEA glasses. I'm pretty sure I've said this before. I have one of those big IKEA glasses, and my brain is like, well, I've started drinking from the glass. I can't stop drinking. I have to keep drinking, and then when there's no more water, I can stop drinking. But otherwise, you don't stop. Cough, cough. Ivory. To what do I owe the pleasure? Or are you here on business? I don't remember why I'm here. Beg your pardon, Her Grace the Sultana would have my opinion on how to best invest the wealth of Uldar? My dear Ivory, I have you to thank for this recognition, I'm sure, and I'm flattered that you came to me, truly flattered. But why settle for a lowly apprentice, when you could have the master upon the matters of profit? There's no living soul better qualified to advise Her Grace than Chairman Lororito, a man whose morning exertions are said to fill his... Wow, is this also an English word? A garderobe? Because this is the regular Danish word, so it completely stun-locked me. But this is like a closet. I should be able. Listen, I can read. I passed reading. I should be happy to arrange a meeting for you. Say at the Science former headquarters in Thanalan. Oh my God, it's so far. The Waking Sands would seem suitably neutral venue for the negotiations, don't you think? Fare you well, Ivory, and may your dealings prove fruitful. Oh my God, it's like, hey, do you want to set up a meeting? It's like literally on the other side of the goddamn world. Wait, hold on. Was that the place? No, I have to go back and tell the Sultana that, hey, we're meeting here. Oh, then it's a good thing it's not in Kugane. Having to travel all the way to Thanalan to tell her, hey, we're going to Japan, instead of sending her text. That would be the way to go about it. There she is. Hello? Oh my goodness. I hope you heard that. That was the sound of my headset giving up on life. Let me just inject a... Wait, what's it called again? Hold on. An umbilical cord. Let me inject the umbilical cord of energy, of electricity directly into it. Yeah, it's not like we have a link pearl. Well, we haven't given a link pearl to royalty. That would be ridiculous. Welcome, Ivory. Did your merchant friend have any useful advice to share? With Lolorito? And you agreed to this? I am well aware of his standing in the field of business, but I had hoped to keep the monetarists at arm's length, and him in particular. I believe he tried to coup the entire nation previously. Nay, I cannot live in fear of the man. I must learn how to treat with him if I am to rule Uldar effectively. No, I do not have friends in the said region. I have the former secretary of the Science of the Seventh Dawn, not friends. I want to make this abundantly clear. She is a work colleague. Very well, I will meet with Lolorito and let us go on ahead to the Waking Sands and prepare for his coming. I am friends with no potato. What are they called again? What are these things called? Lalafell. So this is where the Science first congregated. Wait, we just teleported there, but usually they make such a big deal out of, and such a big fuss out of, you know, manually traveling to places. I've heard many tales, but never had occasion to visit. To work then. The hour of the meeting draws near, and I would gather my thoughts. Pray see to it that we have appointed the room to ourselves. Yeah, I forgot what weird voice I gave her. So, you know, it's just a full reset. No Lalafell.
A personal summons from the Science. This must be important business indeed. Though, if it concerns anything so underhand as an assassination, I fear I can be of little help.
Wait, how is this man still relevant? Didn't he, like, literally try to coup the nation? Right? Am I just misremembering? But shouldn't this guy not get assassinated, but, like, put in jail or executed or something? Isn't that usually what you do to, like, traitors? Halfway? What do you mean a halfway coup? It's like, oh, you know, we only took half of the power of the nation. Either way, I feel like there would be better, you know. But he's wearing a mask. Yes. I mean, you can execute people with masks. That's, it's not that difficult. I'm pretty sure at least one autist has been executed. Hold on. Someone did a ping on the Discord, and I am easily distracted. It was, in fact, completely unimportant. Okay, back to it. Good. It's like, this isn't like, oh, we just didn't like each other back in school, but now that we're adults and we can put what happened before behind us. It's not what this is about. It's he's like, it's treason. What I'm saying is, it's treason. Man.
You have made your point. 'Tis indeed unsettling to find oneself seated across from an impassive mask. There, would this better please your grace? Or should I address you as Lady Lilira?
This voice, it doesn't quite work. He's a real Susibaka. He sure is, as you can tell by his voice acting.
Nay, the deception has served its purpose. I am glad to see you found amusement in my little jest, Lord Lolorito. But shall we proceed to the business at hand?
Ah, well...
By all means. I must
Hold on.
I'm most eager to hear your proposal.
Now I have to be that guy, but I'm fairly certain this color is not amber. So, how about you go and use a Fantasia to change your character's eye color? Huh? Yeah. Get wrecked.
Simply put, I I would aid the refugees camped in Thanalan in their efforts to return to Alamigo.
Oh yeah, to those who weren't here yesterday, and by yesterday I mean 1 week ago, which is basically 1 day ago, except it's 7 days ago. Our current mission is to get the refugees out of our country. So, you know, it's a fairly relatable European kind of issue that they're having in Thanalan, and it's that a lot of people from a deserty and mountainous region came in and settled upon, you know, upon your country's grounds, and being human, you sort of allow them, but you don't help them, right? That's very important. You don't help them, but you allow them to remain in their refugee camps. And then, now that the war is over in their homeland, what you do is you just send them home. I mean, technically, I think it's like, oh, but they're going home willingly, teehee, but like, we're sending them home. And now what we're doing is we're gathering a lot of money, or trying to gather a lot of money to try and set up institutions in their homeland such that they can gain, you know, such that they have something to return to. So essentially, we're doing a lot of EU business.
The reparations you paid in the wake of your earlier misdemeanors will be used to fund the endeavor, together with the fortune seized from the late Teleji Adeleji's estate. But this plan is not intended to benefit the displaced alone. I would make of this an investment which shall enrich Uldar and Alamigo both. And who better to consult on matters of profit than the wealthiest man in all of Thanalan? I beseech you then, Lord Lolorito, share with us your mercantile wisdom.
Wait, I gotta say, I'm pretty sure this isn't the richest man in Thanalan. Isn't the... Like, the first part of the mission was we went to the guy who owns the casino, who is actually the richest man in Thanalan, to the point where he carved out a piece of Thanalan to make his own country. Let's go, Fantasy EU! With a more realistic timeline. I feel like the EU is a fairly realistic timeline, being in so that nothing ever happens in the EU. God, I love politics. God, I love it when nothing happens in my politics.
Twould seem your grace has matured beyond acts of earnest yet misplaced charity. Pray tell me more.
But she isn't supposed to tell you more. You're supposed to tell her more.
To summarize, in return for facilitating the repatriation of refugees and assisting in the establishment of new industry in Alamigo, you ask that a proportion of all subsequent profits be promised to Uldar.
God, so we're putting them in debt. That's what we're doing. Godbird is Santa after all. Yeah, Santa owns a casino. Oh, I know what I want for Christmas. I want 10 spins on the slot machine. Woo! I gotta say, I dislike the fade to black and then some guy saying, to summarize. It feels like a very lazy, I don't know how to write proper communication within the scene and make it interesting, because we already know this. I feel like there should be another... You didn't write the law. Well, maybe you should have. Maybe if everyone just wrote their own law for this game, we would have like a coherent art style, because what they're currently doing isn't really working. Okay, so and the other thing is like establishing the so it's like it's essentially the, I believe now, if there are any World War II interested people, or post-World War II interested people in chat, I believe this is sort of the Marshall Plan that they are trying to hint at, which is essentially we are borrowing a lot of money and investing in their industry in and then, you know, then they will pay off of it. And it worked for Western Europe, so I guess I can't hate too much on the idea, right? I am rather 2026 interested, if that counts. No, that's World War 3. Oh, spoilers, by the way. I didn't say anything. I'm sorry about that. I know I hate spoilers personally.
Ha! I am impressed, Your Grace. 'Tis an elegant solution, albeit one lacking certain crucial details, specifically which industry and where.
Oh my! If they're gonna say salt mining, if they're going to be like, we're gonna extract all of the salt, I'm going to flip my shit with a paddle.
How swiftly you identified the weakness in my plan, just as I knew you would.
Oh, so what?
Your travels have taken you across the length and breadth of Gir Abania, and you know the land far better than I.
So she literally had no plan on what industry to invest in. What the shit am I listening to?
Which of the settlements you visited would best provide a home for our refugees? Which has the greatest potential to flourish, given the appropriate investment?
She sure is a child. Tekopine, I'm going to say something that it's going to seem blindingly obvious when I mention this. But I haven't spoiled Season 2 of 2026. There are 4 seasons in a year, you see, right? And we just got through spring. So now we've reached summer, which is the 3rd season. Wait, that it doesn't quite work, because then the end of one season is also the beginning of the next one. It's a little weird, but it works out at the end. But we're about to hit season 3. But at least I didn't spoil if it was season 3 or season 4. So, you know, you have something to look forward to. Spring is the true start of the year. Interesting. We skipped spring, we had winter, and now bingo bongo, it's hot as balls. Well, there was a period of time where it was okay. And, you know, it can get hotter. I will say that. I mean, the current temperature is only around the 20 degrees. You know, we're gonna hit the 26 degrees. And then it's gonna be hot as balls. And by hot as balls, I mean, you know, the balls are in Speedos and you're currently in a sauna. It's that kind of hot as balls. Maybe I should, you know, get rid of some of these. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna remove a few things from OBS. I feel like this is the perfect time and place to do it. And I'm just gonna, you know, make sure to remove all of the right ones. This one. No, that's fine. We can remove this one. What is this one? Oh, that's fine. Wait. Nothing is in it. Oh yeah, that's because I disconnected it. Yeah, let's just remove it. And if I ever need something of that nature again, I'll just, you know, redo it. Anyway. Sorry, I got distracted. Where was we? Oh, bro, I can pick the salts. I can... Oh, I hate myself. I don't remember what's in the other parts. Alagiri. Can I look up the map? No, I can't. So I'm just gonna pick one at random that isn't salty. You know,
yes, Quarry Town certainly does carry the potential for profit. At least it would do were it situated anywhere near a lucrative market. It would cost more to transport the materials than they are worth, in my humble opinion. Yes, if a stable trade route can be established between Uldar and Alamigo, then Alagiri would once more become an important waypoint. But while such growth would greatly benefit its current residents, I'm afraid it could sustain little beyond that.
Okay, just to answer, give attention to something that is not me. I see attention a lot like I see water. I can give you some water, but the water will run out at some point. And by giving water, I mean you also have to hold, and when you hold it, but I also hold, and I have like a hose, and that's where the water comes out of, and then it goes directly into your mouth, and then you can't hold it, but you can like drink it while I'm hosing you. Does that make sense? Good. It's nice to be on the same page. No! No! You cannot be serious. Are we like, oh, we're gonna sell the salt? God, vaffanculo. Porco Dio.
Ah, yes, that desolate little village on the shore of Loch Seld. I know the Saltry and its products well. The Imperial invasion brought an end to their more widespread distribution, much to the dismay of many a wealthy gourmand, myself included.
I am going to salt the earth on which this man grows his crops.
Salt has ever been a transformative ingredient. And in this instance, I dare say, it could transform a modicum of effort into a mountain of gil.
The local citizens will need to be consulted, of course, but I trust the East Aldenar Trading Company can be relied upon to provide its assistance in negotiating a mutually beneficial arrangement.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like using the British East India Trading Company to, well, it's probably the Dutch East India Trading Company to set up an arrangement. And consult it. How about you eat some salt?
Naturally, Your Grace. I shall dispatch representatives well versed in the extraction of this white gold and wring every last ounce of profit from its production. The Loch's bounty will contribute to Alamigo's enrichment, whilst easing the burden on the bull's aching shoulders. Just as Your Grace desired.
A deal is struck then.
You are indeed. See, this is the good thing about having a chat on the screen. Ah! Sorry, that was a little loud. Okay. I fear it will be many years before I feel comfortable taking part in such negotiations, but I shall not complain. We have piqued Loreto's interest and secured his invaluable expertise. Thank you, Ivory. I could not have done it without you. Alright, give me my 1000 gil and I could get an Onigarayaki. What? Is it like a yakiniku, but it's onigiri, so it's like a spear that goes through rice? I could also get leaf sushi. No, give me 1000 gold, please. Our course is decided. I shall return to the palace and have my ministers begin work on implementing the particulars of the plan. If I could prevail upon you one more time, Ivory, I would ask that you convey the details of our negotiations to Commander Hext on your return to Alamigo. My thanks again. Together we have laid the groundwork for an endeavor which promises to benefit the peoples of Alamigo and Uldar both. Wait, this is the wrong way. Hold on. Radolf. Slavsvus. Some interesting names. Oh, this is the way. This is we are going the right way. Ah, hello, Anastasia. Welcome, welcome. I am in the middle of setting up salt communications between two countries. So you see, this is Japan, and inside Japan lives a Dutchman, and this Dutchman is from up here, and you can see he's from up here because it's mainly water, just like the Netherlands. And he is communicating with this version of Africa, I think, is what Thanalan is kind of like, to set up trade with the Middle East. And what the Middle East has, or rather Gyrbania, is a lot of salt. So let's teleport there, so we can communicate about salt. We have salty talks. See, because, and if I can make making my way down, this place, this big area is just a salt lake, which, you know, unlike I do have teleportation. Teleportation is not free. It costs 100 pence. What? 100? No, it costs. How is a P a gil? Okay, so it's called gil, but it costs 1,188 gil to teleport to Japan. And I have 500,000. Like, I'm going to run out if only I do it 250 times. Don't do the math on that. I don't think that's right. Oh, I'm almost built up on elegant tombstones. Oh yeah, this lady, she's from this area. It cost 1k money. Got it. Yes, 1,000 monies. This lady, she's a refugee. Oh yeah. So right now we're doing refugee business. I know, crazy, but the Sultan of this area is like, we have all of these refugees, and now that the war is over, we want to send all of the refugees home. Yeah, exactly, just like you. I didn't know how much like I could go into it without. I don't want to step on anyone's toes here. But now that the war is over in Gyrbania, a lot of the refugees will want to go home, but it's like, oh no, we have to set up all of the industry, because a lot of it is broken because it's been 20 years, and the Sultan or the Sultana doesn't have so immersive actually, and they don't have enough money, so we need to like put a lot of money into it, but all of the rich people are like, nah, it costs $400,000 to teleport this cat. 20 years, which is hopefully not an accurate estimate of real life. It's basically a whole life. But all of the rich people in Thanalan, where the Sultana lives, are like, no, we don't want to just give a bunch of money to Gyrbania in order to like build up their industry. We want something in return. It has to be an investment. And so they're like, oh, but what if we invest in the salt lake, so we extract a bunch of salt from it, and then we trade with that, so it's like a win-win situation. Doesn't that sound amazing? And now we've traveled back to the current president of Gyrbania, who used to be our friend. Well, I suppose technically she still is, but she's like our work colleague, and now she's like the leader of the area, because the previous leader kind of died, and he was like, my last wish is for you to be president. So that's where we are. We traveled to the local casino, because this place is where the richest man in in all of Thanaland lives. So we were like, hey, can you help us with the money situation? And he was like, nah. And then we traveled to the Dutch East India Company in Japan and was like, hey, do you have an idea? And he was like, oh, well, you could talk to someone else. So we went back to Thanaland and was like, wait, but you could talk to the actual richest guy in Thanaland. We were like, oh my god. But the thing is, he did a coup. So we were like, maybe we shouldn't trust this guy. But then we just trusted him because corruption and nepotism. You wouldn't describe her as a leader. A leader is someone who goes on the front lines and beats up your enemy. I just think that after living in a new place for 20 years, you actually integrate, and returning home is like starting all over again. And you can also feel like an outsider having lived outside of society for so long. You know what? That is also sort of a thought I had, but as we can clearly see, hold on, listen. Okay, I'm just gonna waste like $1,000 redinos. Because we're going on an adventure. Okay, we grab the singing horse and then we fly south. So this is the big city where all of the people with all of the money are, right? And hold on. We're traveling, and we're almost there. As you can see, over the past 20 years, this is the amount of integration that has been invested into the refugee camps. So it's literally just some tattered tents around the place and a bunch of people who are like who are fairly destitute. But this is not all of them. These are all of the people who seek to like they want to like buy an apartment in the big city, but the apartment in the big city is like really expensive. So instead of, you know, being able to, they're just out here and like, oh, maybe the housing prices will fall soon. A lot like me, actually. And then we go to Little Alamigo. Yeah. So some of the important people are from the area, but this is where a lot of the refugees basically fled to in Thanaland to like make their own home. So there's like this pseudo city. Hold on, there is like an actual city, but it's underground and in here, right? No, these are also tents. Wait, hold on. I'm pretty sure weren't there actual buildings, like underground, in-ground buildings? Or does it actually just suck? I mean, I wouldn't put it past it. No, it just sucks. There are no buildings. That's it. Yeah. So this is where all of the refugees have been living for around 20 years in there. Like, I wouldn't not call it a ghetto, but that is like literally what it is. Oh, they still have the... Okay, so the White Griffin was the leader of this area, and he was like an absolute terrorist who summoned God to blow up the Empire. But he was... the narrative deemed him a bad guy, but they still have his banner up. And then, you know, Gyrbanya over here. Oh yeah, it's called Little Alamigo because the big city in this area is called Alamigo. At least they didn't call it New Alamigo. So yeah, that's the general storyline of these 20 years. But the assumption is just from all of the people in the Thanalan area, yeah, of course they all want to go home. Why would refugees want to stay somewhere where they've lived for 20 years? No. They're all going home and that's it. I have decided that they're going home and I do not want to think about the fact that maybe there could be foreigners inside my country. Crazy. Just to be clear, summoning God is considered a very bad thing by everyone in this world. Yeah. But it's also something that happens like every Tuesday, so... Should I? I mean... I'm just like... It feels like... It feels like the people who made this storyline were like, there's a lot of things they did not consider. So the storyline doesn't feel that realistic, if that makes sense. Rather, it's not that it doesn't feel realistic, it doesn't feel nuanced. And that makes that is a lot of what I think is like the negatives about this storyline. Or the story in this game. Because you spend 100 hours at least per expansion, and it is the most straightforward story. There's no nuance, there's no like interesting twists or turns, not that there necessarily needs to be a twist, but there's no like exploration of the interesting and neat parts. You have to go to like side quests for that, and all of the side quests are so uninteresting. And the one side quest I did take that was like, oh, we're going to explore something really interesting about this culture, was like, just JK, we're not exploring that part about the culture anyway. God. Well, every time a god is summoned, you have to commit a genocide. You do? I feel like the god just commits the genocide, and then you kill the god, and then it's all hunky-dory. Well, it's a storyline and a half. Of course, all of the refugee business is mainly centered around deserty regions. So if anything, it was likely inspired by Afghanistan. But you have to kill all of the tempered people. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I do kill a lot of people. Okay, where are we? Okay, so this is the leader of the newly liberated country, and she's like trying to set up all of the everythings. You're back. What did Nanami? Oh, are you allowed to talk about your audience with the Sultana? Oh yeah, she's Nanamo. Oh god. Okay, so wait, hold on. I'm sure I was supposed to be able to see. Yes. Okay. Oh no. Well, I messed it up. It's what happens. It's okay. I didn't close anything important. You have basically stamp out the religion. It doesn't feel like I have to stamp out the religion. I just have to kill like some of the people because they defend their god. And then when I kill their god, they're like, oh, well, now that our god is dead, I guess we have to surrender. Which, to be fair, if I found out that suddenly, like the ancient gods of this region were actually real, and Odin came down and he was like, hey guys, I'm about to do some real cool stuff. And we're like, oh shit, well I guess Odin is real, and then like some guy from Germany is like, time to kill God, and he kills Odin, I'd also be like, well, I guess that's that. So Rauban says he's going to return to Uldar, but she isn't sure he wants to. Tell us something we don't know. But I'm pleased to hear she's committed to helping our refugees come home. And this plan to revitalize the Saltery does make a lot of sense. Quite how you convinced her to seek Lolorito's help in another question. After all that has happened, he is the very last person I would expect her to turn to for advice. This is another thing. It's like once someone has an idea, everyone is like, I like that idea. We should do that idea. I like doing the idea, and then the idea starts. There's so much padding in the storyline. It's crazy. But on a more practical note, Lise, assuming the interim government elects to accept Uldar's proposal, I have one caveat I should like to include in the bargain. Alamigo must be permitted to cover a portion of the investment. We have a fortune at our disposal after all, and allowing Uldar to provide the entirety of the capital will afford Lolorito too much control. Honestly, Alphino, it's like Kugane never happened. What exactly does a ruthless profiteer have to do to earn your trust? But yes, you do make a good point. First things first though, we need to discuss the proposal with the Saltery's residents. Whisker, how do you fancy explaining the Sultana's plan to your grandfather? I'd like to hear what thinks of the idea before agreeing to anything. Right away, Commander. Would you mind coming along, Ivory? I might need you to fill in the details. Then I shall come as well. Should what? Wish to discuss figures? My knowledge of nations' finances may prove useful. Oh yeah, we also, by the by, just unearthed a massive treasure underneath the palace. And for some reason, that amount of money has not been used for anything yet, because they're like, oh, I don't know how to use this much money. They are not very good at being corrupt politicians. Can I exit from here? Yeah, it seems like I can, because there's a gatekeeper. Hello, gatekeeper! Now let me out. If you're tempered, you will pray to that god for the rest of your life and try to convert people and summon the god again. Well, there's a lot of this law that I don't know anything about. Okay, we're going to the Saltery business. Oh yeah, I remember I spent much of last week in this area talking about the battlements and the design of these battlements. And these battlements, they're awful because oh wait, hold on. No, they're pretty bad because you want to hide here in order to shoot. But imagine if you were a Lalafell, you could be small enough to hide beneath these and then peek out and then shoot. But you would also want for these to be like slightly higher such that you can duck and move between these easily. This is not an opportunity that we have. And the same goes for these. It's ARR law, so I wouldn't expect you to. Yeah, you know, the wild thing, I think, is I did read all of the lore and all of the storyline from the previous expansions. It is simply just quite forgettable. So yeah, it's not like I didn't try. I know at least one person who has played through it recently who claims to like understand or retain a lot of the lore or the storyline, but like dog shit crenellations. What the shit is a crenellation? And what is a yabby? Is that like a crayfish? That's crazy. That's a nutty crab. Do you think it would taste good if boiled? It comes pre-salted actually. That's pretty cool. Oh, get away from me. That doesn't have ranged attacks. What an idiot. Well, not a lot of animals have ranged attacks in real life. There's that one fish that has a ranged attack. It's pretty cool. I guess the frog tongue kind of counts. Oh no. It came through. Oh. Ah, isn't that interesting? Okay, well, yeah, they are really varied, those damn bots, because now they do like space.space.com. So I guess .space.com also needs to be banned. You know. Yeah, it's the cover part of the wall. Yeah, I know. That was kind of the point, but you, as far as I understand, you want the cover part. You want a tall cover part of the wall, like this essentially. Okay, so you want the tall part of cover for a wall. You can hide behind this part, and then you can do the reload. But you also want, once you peek out, to have an area of wall that's around waist height, such that you can, you know, still be in some cover and get your shots off. Unless someone knows how to do something smarter. Yeah, well, I don't know something smarter. I think it's just, you know, adding more rules until... It's essentially an arms race. And at some point there are so many rules that no one can write anything in chat. And it's gonna be amazing. What manner of mischief brings you youngins to old what this time, eh? Wait, there's also... did you set the thing so people can't write unless they are subscribed or following or something? Sure, but I assume that other streamers have the same problem. Waist height and with the narrow slits to shoot even further down. Yeah, exactly. Partially. Yeah, and then there's like the age of an account. We should probably also set something up for that. So an account has to be like so and so old before people can write. It's it sucks, but it's like it's free to do these commercial things, so I guess. They want to rebuild the Saltery, Granddad. Ivory, tell him about the deal. The deal is money. Well, bugger me. We've never had the coin or the hands to put the place back to how it was. But it sounds like it's about to change. There's just one small wrinkle in your plan. It doesn't account for all the nasties queuing up to eat anyone who goes near the shore. The king used to send soldiers to cull the buggers, but the Imperials weren't about to help the likes of us. Don't worry, Granddad, we'll take care of that. Commander Hext has been talking about picking up regular patrols, and I'm sure she'd assign me to the lock if I asked. I'd appreciate that, Whisker, my lad. Though, I would... Oh, truly I would. Sorry, again, I can't read. So, does this mean you've gotten better with that blade of yours? I've been training, but mostly to kill Imperials. You've done some experience hunting monsters, don't you, Ivory? Think you could cast an eye over a few of the local beasties to teach me how to deal with them? Yeah, sure. Let's not waste any time then. I'll see you by the loch. Whilst you are busy attending to the local fauna, I shall have Master What explain to me exactly what is required to restore the Saltery to its former glory. Good hunting. Yeah, so the trick to... Oh, sorry about that. I was just adjusting the volume. The trick to killing monsters is to be higher level and do damage. Right then, Ivory, I've got a spyglass here. You can just take a closer look at these pests. Once you've got their measure, you can tell me how to do, and we'll see how I get on and to do them. Search your surrounding for yabbies. You may move the camera as well, zoom in and out, target a yabby and inspect it with the middle mouse button. Whoa. I am inspecting you. Oh, but I have to inspect the head? I don't understand this minigame. Discover its weak point. But its weak point is like... dealing damage to its health? Is this the weak point? That's not the weak point. Is this the weak point? It is a turret section. This is way more boring than the last turret section. The last turret section was like... you get to shoot one-hit kill darts at people. Except they fell asleep. Yeah, this quest is quite stupid. What is the weak point? I have to discover it. Oh my god. And I don't even understand what the... I don't even understand what is supposed to... where I'm supposed to look and how this minigame works. Am I supposed to like keep it still? Yappy's jaw? I found it. I found the weak point. Wow, you just spoiled it. Crazy. Damn, dude. The Yabby's entire body is protected by a hard carapace. but the underside of the head looks soft and vulnerable. No, it doesn't. Ah, it looks like you found a yabby. They say hitting their shells is like smacking a rock. Any suggestions? Aim for the sword onto the underside. Just hit it. I mean, literally just hit it. Spend 10 minutes on the quest. Well, I didn't. And that makes me a better gamer. That's just, I mean, it's just the way it is. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings like this, but I am known to click on random things and then progress the storyline. I have played point-and-click adventure games. Alright then, I was hoping there'd be more trick to it, but brute force is... Yeah, that's me. I just hit it. Okay, how about you don't use a slashing weapon, you absolute idiot. Well, if it works, it works. Oh my god. Lovely. Alright. Thanks, Avery. I just... you told me and Wavekin went down like a sack of potatoes. Let's find something else. Oh no, I have to do it again. Okay, never mind. I'm going to spend 10 minutes on this quest as well. Oh my god. Oh my god. There's a lot of salt. So yeah, the idea is to gather up all of this salt and then sell it to people, because surely there's no sand in this salt. Yeah, it can probably be refined, but like... wonder how the air would taste in this area. Next time you need to go to Kugane, could we then do that dungeon we need for flying? It probably relocates us. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't think I'm going to Kugane soon, but when I do, yes. I think I can handle the yabbies, so we just tried something and the zoom, and then you just then look at the hand, and then it's probably the eyes. It was not the eyes. Is it the hand? No. Wait, it is the eye. Oh, I'm a genius. Except, you know, I don't know how to read. Time to go kill the Fodad. The Fodad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core... Sorry. The Fodad's hands are large and powerful, but destroying its crystallized core should render the salt golem inanimate. You sense power pulsating from behind its brow. Oh, a Fodad. How do I defeat one of those? Just hit it really, really hard. It's just that simple. You do damage. As hard as I can. Well, simple strategies are often the best. Here goes. Dun 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 dun. I love that. It's very cute though. I love the little chip tune. It's not easy fighting with the liberator of Alamigo watching your every move. But I got the job done. Thanks for the advice, Ivory. I feel a lot more prepared for my patrols now. Any road, we should head back to the saltery before Granddad starts to worry I've been snipped into pieces and fed a Yabby's hatchlings. Fed two Yabby's hatchlings. But, you know, oh, look at the tank picking the Unga Bunga method, shocking. Yeah, it's crazy. I have an anger mechanic. How am I supposed to not just say, just hit it? I mean, the trick is you go inner release and then you hit fell cleave 3 times and then it's dead. You unga and then you bunga. What? I see you returned in one piece. Dealt with those beasties then, did ya? I fought them myself. After a bit of instruction from Ivory, once I've shared what I've learned with the others, we should have no trouble keeping the shoreline clear. Good lad. A fine young man you've become, Whiskey. A fine young man indeed. Too often, of late, I hear folks over in the city drunk on victory and hungry for revenge, their heads stuck firmly in the past. But we need to set our sights on the future, on things which will improve our lot. Things like getting the Saltery ready to welcome our long-lost countrymen. Yeah, give me experience. Oh, I need this to level up. I'm very close to leveling up. The Dairium Magyum Yaku weapon. Dun dun. It seems Whisker and the Saltery security well in hand. I mean, we'll have discussed the next steps with Master what, and completed my inspections of the site. With little effort, the vacant buildings here would make into very presentable dwellings. Yes. Message from General Alden. You could just send me a text. Apologies for the interruption, miss, but the General would speak with you at your earliest convenience. Do not feel obliged to wait around on my account. I will remain here to hammer out the finer details with what, and act as an intermediary with our business partners in Ul'dan. You should go. General Alden asked me to wait by the main gate a la Megan Quarter. My apologies again, miss. Fare you well. And there he goes. There he runs. Boom, 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 boom. Oh yeah, the OBS thing that happened was essentially because it kept refreshing a bunch. It immediately filled up the cache on the on both StreamerBot and OBS. So the solution, I think, now that I've thought a little bit about it, is because I switched to a different port and a different address. It was like it basically reset whatever system was constantly asking, hey, is this open? Hey, is this open? Hey, is this open? Instead of just, you know, opening it. So on a different port, it was like, oh yeah, this port is just open. Yeah, I guess. So that's my guess as to why it worked. And also I had to delete the previous cache because it filled up, and that was why it crashed. So if I've learned anything, it is if you have any technical issues at any point in your career, in your time, in your anything, 1, it's probably the RAM's fault, and 2, have you cleared your caches? You know, being an IT professional teaches you a thing or two about the IT always having the same issues. It's never something complicated. Well, unless you program. If you program, it's always something different. And by different, I mean it's also the same thing. Because in my humble professional experience, every single coding job you get is, oh no, someone wrote some code that's really bad. You have to fix the code. Nobody writes new code anymore. Everything is old code being refactored always. If you write new code, you are making a bad foundation for someone else. Oh my goodness, look. The stars. It's Sean Bean.
Apologies for the wait. People are screaming for the butcher's blood again. No sooner have we broken up one mob than another forms. Thankfully, all have been amenable to reason, thus far. But it is no concern of yours.
I'm pretty sure it is pronounced amenable in every accent.
We must speak of the men Arenvald and his comrades apprehended in the peaks.
By their uniforms, the captives were first judged to be Imperial troops. But after further investigation, their true identities came to light. I dare say you remember Yuyuhasi and Laurentius, The fugitives who conspired with Captain Ilberd in the Crystal Brave's betrayal.
Listen, I remember none of these 3 names. Well, Captain Ilbert, I remember the name, but Crystal Brave's betrayal. Oh, right. That was a Realm Reborn. That was during the patch quests between the first expansion and... Sorry, the first expansion and then this.
Aye, well, it would seem they followed him all the way to the wall. It was they who orchestrated the slaughter of the resistance fighters prior to the Griffin's infernal ritual.
Were it in your hands, how would you punish these men?
Well, okay, so there's a difference between what I think and what Ivory thinks, probably. Ilbert is the guy who summoned a god. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down? Oh, it's the White Griffin. Okay, yeah, I get you. Okay, so I fundamentally don't think we should execute people. And that is an interesting discussion to have. And I would love to have it at some point, but I feel like right now is perhaps the best time, actually. Yeah, the sloppy guy. Yeah, I think everyone has like their own opinions on this, and why and how, and like some of them intersect. But I just fundamentally don't think it makes that much sense to execute people. Like sometimes people die. People die in the heat of passion sometimes, and that is what it is. But like, once you have a person at your mercy, you could elect to not kill them, and then that is, you like, certainly there is like a particular scenario in which execution does make sense, because someone will always be like, but I'm actually in this very particular scenario where you're stranded on an alien planet and you have to move, and if you leave the thing, then someone else, he becomes like a kaiju zombie. Yeah, I get ya. I get the idea. Then perhaps it makes more sense. But in general, it's just better not to, right? Because you would rather have that were the situations the opposite, then, you know, they shouldn't also they wouldn't also execute you. And I think that's also a valuable thing. And also, like, people are people. Just because you don't necessarily agree with someone else doesn't mean like execution is the right answer. Even if they've done something that is morally reprehensive. So I think we should kill them.
Hear, hear. There is no more fitting sentence for the perpetrators of such a massacre, and that is but one of their crimes. In any event, I thank you for your honesty. When the time comes for the Alliance to pass judgment, I'll see that your opinion is heard.
Amazing. Amazing. I'm sure this doesn't mean anything, but it's so interesting that, like, Rauban was the guy who was like, no, we do not kill the butcher. We do not execute other people. That's simply wrong. And now that I'm like, maybe we should just kill these other 2 guys. Like, I completely agree. No spine on this man.
Well, that concludes our business here. But there is more I would say. Walk with me. I bear a share of the blame for Ilbert's atrocities. Had I openly supported the cause of Alamegan liberation, he might not have felt driven to do what he did. Things could have been different, and I'm sorry they aren't. But even after all that has happened, my homeland is free. With the Scions and the Alliance at their side, my countrymen have reclaimed what many thought lost forever.
Again, this is a really good opportunity for the storyline to talk about, even though we have used, and even though like a lot of things have happened that fundamentally we don't agree with, we still acted within our best interest. Is that moral? Is that just? Like, someone else did a massive terrorist attack on the big wall, and because of that, we were able to take the wall, but we don't condone the terrorist attack, even though it definitely helped us win the war. And like, that hasn't been brought up, really. It's only been like, well, we are where we are. But now is a really good opportunity to like unpack how people are feeling about this massacre that happened in order to summon a god, and that god like killing all of the Imperials. But instead we're probably just going to skip over it.
Under her new leadership, I have every confidence that Alamigo will emerge from the shadow of the Empire and rise once more to greatness.
Yeah, nah, I guess we're just dropping it.
Which means my work here is done. Soon I will return to Uldar and take my place at the Sultana's side.
Father...
Daddy.
I'll not deny there's a part of me that wants to stay. The same part that contemplated renouncing my rank and joining you as a wandering sellsword.
Am I forgetting an important fact? I feel like I don't forget anything.
I pledged my blade to Nanamo, and I will not betray that oath.
Nah.
Is this truly what you want, Father?
It is. Ever has my sword been hers to command, and ever shall it remain.
Oh yeah, right. Because we're the good guys, we don't have to look inwards. We don't have to consider if maybe we're not doing what is right all of the time. Everything we do is good and right. It is just, and it is pure.
Thank you for lending an ear. When all the rest are clamoring for me to stay, I trust you'll send me on my way.
If they didn't want to get killed, they A, shouldn't have a health bar, and B, shouldn't give me XP. It's their fault. That took longer than I intended, but at least you know where I stand. Now that that's settled, Ehrenwald, what's new? We have a problem, sir. A group of Ananta has arrived at the main gates, and don't mean the Vera. These are Kalyana, the ones that summoned the Primal. They're insisting to be allowed to attend the council. Lise is trying to reason with them, but she may need help. An invitation was to be expected by the native beast tribes, but we assumed the Kalyana would refuse it out of hand. We had best go and see for ourselves, Pippin. Take command of our forces and be ready for battle. Ivory, you dealt with these Kalyana before. I'd have you at my side. Yeah, they're from a different religious sect, and for that reason we just assume that we're going to slaughter them. Because that is just, that is how religion is. We cannot reason with religious people, or something. Sorry, we cannot reason with religious people of a different religion. Goodness. Oh god, now that it's dark on my screen, I can't see anything that's going on. Donk. There is only one correct religion. I see, and that is Heidelin, right? Oh yeah, this is Alamigo. Oh, Queen's Gardens. Yeah, I haven't explored the top of the map. I should probably do that at some point. And people who worship other gods should die for the good of the world. Actually, it is the 12th. Huh? Is Heidelin the 12th? Or is the 12th the Heidelin? Oh, the 12 gods? Right. You have to pick a birthday in the beginning of the game, and the birth god, the birth date god is like, it's where it's your horoscope. I was about to call it astromancy, but that's not the right word. It's not Astro Boy either. Hold on. It's astrology. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Hello. Mushy. Heidelin is real, and so not a religion, you see. Just like Jesus. Ivory, Raban. God, it's good to see you. The Slayer has come. The Doom Slayer. We have not forgotten how you sinned against the Lady of Bliss, but we did not come here to shed blood. You claim to seek harmony with all who call Girabanya home. This is truly your wish. You will welcome us as envoys of Ananta. It is our wish, and you are welcome, but we cannot condone the summoning of primals. If you want to enter the palace, I must ask that you first surrender any crystal jewelry you have. My word that it will be returned to you when the meeting is over. This is exactly like in 2014 when there was a ton of people, a ton of refugees from like Syria that came up through Europe, and we were like, no, you can't be a refugee if you have an iPhone, so you better hand that over. Well, except this is like, hey, if you have a hand grenade, please hand it over. Yeah, it was called like the jewelry law or something. It was really fucked up. So, blast from the past right there. We will do as you ask, but you will not have our weapons. We are not so foolish as to place ourselves entirely at the mercy of our tormentors. I reckon that's the closest we've got to a compromise, and we will have people standing guard. Aye, let them keep their swords. Then we have an agreement. Lead the way to your meeting chamber. Lamau, yeah, how can you be poor if you have gold on you? It's not that, like... Wait, hold on. I think this is voiced. It is not voiced. It's not that you're poor, it's more like you can't be a refugee if you have money. Which is the weird part. Or... It's also like... But you are right, you can be poor but still have like some jewelry because it has some other value, or if it's like the only valuables you have. Why do I have the feeling that we welcomed a viper into our midst? Well, Robin, that's because we just welcomed 5 vipers into our midst. Ooh. Oh, a dress of Rauban. This Kalyana elder's intentions seem at odds with all we know of her tribe. What do you think, Ivory? I mean, the previous was banned, but the new one is like, we literally placed her, but she like woke up and like, it's okay. You believe an understanding can be reached. 'Tis not entirely unheard of. I suppose those who followed Saint Shiva eventually sought reconciliation with Ishgard. Whatever the truth, I would take no chances. The guard must be strengthened, ideally with people who know a thing or two about primals. Can we rely on the scions? Nope. I'll round up our comrades and send them to the Alamegan quarter. You can go on ahead if you'd like, Ivory. My thanks. I will see you in the palace. Bye-bye. You think that those snogs are related to the ones from XCOM? Yes, actually, it's part of the lore from one of the other Final Fantasy games that the snake people are actually the same ones from XCOM, because like you do space travel in one of the games, trust me. And in the space travel, you gather like a bunch of different races, and then you go to different planets. So XCOM is just like one of the many planets that are being invaded. Oh, sorry, brought to peace. Would this be good? AH? Oh, Kingdom Hearts? No, Kingdom Hearts is Disney. Ivory. I've brought reinforcements. Arenvald told me of the arrival of our unexpected guests, and I agreed that it would be prudent to call upon Yustola and Thancred as well. One can never be too careful when dealing with the enthralled. I am not familiar with the Kalyana tribe myself, but Alice's report suggested that they shunned contact with other races, despised it, in fact, even compared to other Nanta. Indeed, this apparent reversal in attitude is most curious. No one expected a response to our invitation, much less an envoy, and I imagine Lise was forced to make some rather hasty arrangements in order to accommodate them. Speaking of which, we deploy ourselves. If the meeting is to be held in the throne room, it would seem wise to have both eyes and ears on outside and the inside of the palace. Yustola and I can stand guard without. That leaves the three of you to keep watch over the proceedings in the throne room itself. Right, it is called enthralled. Yeah. You see, they're not religious, they're enthralled. Understood. We should join General Alden inside them. Ivory, do you know the rear entrance to the palace? Oh, do I ever. It is on the eastern edge of the city, at the top of the stairs. The guard there should have been instructed to let us pass. Oh, it's over there. Return of the Bull. Oh, now that we've, begun repairing this village area, it's definitely going to have, like, new buildings and materials and stuff, once we finish the quests. It wouldn't be in constant disrepair for, the rest of time because they don't want to put new buildings in there. No, that would be ridiculous. You're with the science, miss. General Alden left orders that we were to be escorted inside. If you'll follow me, I will enter the royal palace. This is the last quest of 4.1, and there's 4.5 total. This sounds like it's gonna be voiced. I don't think we've talked to all of these characters or people.
Thank you all for coming. I am Lise Hext, and I speak for the Resistance.
4.56. Okay. Wouldn't it be then 4.5.6 and not 4.56? Or is it because there are 4.56 quests? And this is the end of like 4.11? 4.12? See, that would make sense. Uh-oh. Yeah, everything I say makes sense, of course. I'm just adjusting my ass because one has to adjust the sitting posture into a new cringe posture every once. Oh, my work phone is absolutely digging into. It's digging for gold into my thigh.
Among you are village elders, refugee leaders, envoys from the Ananta and the Kikern.
Kirkran. Oh, right, it's these guys that we killed.
You've come from every corner of Girabania to help decide the future of Alamigo. But before that, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, so this is the Salt Man. This is not the Kalyan, this is the other one, the Vanani, I think, because they have the purple. And this guy I know I've seen, and I do not remember this lady.
What was the first thing you noticed when you came in?
That is empty?
For me, it was that empty throne.
Ah. See, I was right. I guessed right. Okay, so it is, so 4 point... okay, so I'm going to be starting 4.2 sets of quests. Alright, makes sense. I thought I was already in 4.2. I thought 4.1 was like...
no one to sit on it now. No viceroy, no king.
So I thought the... Wait, her? She was just like in some random village. She wasn't even the most important person in that village. Also, everyone is like... Wait. No, sorry, I was about to comment on the skin color, because like the skin color is generally dark due to, you know, this being a sunny area, but I just realized this girl has been in the sunny, is also from the sunny area, and she has blonde hair, blue eyes, white skin, and this, yeah, well, this is a weird race. The Rogadin are strange. Sit on it. I will not sit on my work phone. Oh, the throne? Yeah. Yeah. No, I was thinking, so if it's... Yeah, I thought 4.1 was like getting the treasure, and then 4.2 would be like figuring out the money situation, and then 4.3 would be the lead-in into... Oh, it's not Endwalker, it's Shadowbringer, yeah. No,
Would
König.
you like to take their place? Or should someone else sit there?
Me!
Then let's sit here in a circle. As equals. And I hope, as friends.
Wouldn't it have been funny if one of them was like, no, I think I should be king, actually.
Expertly done. Lys has removed monarchy as a choice early in the game and positioned them to consider a joint government. All things considered, I would say events have got off to a fine start.
Yeah, time to do an oligarchy. That always works way better.
And that is Alagana's stance on the matter.
Thank you, Ragenfrid. Another vote in favor. Next, let's hear from Shanti of the Kalyana. Tell us, how do your people feel about the idea of a republic?
A pedagogical half banana. No, it's a full circle. Not a half circle. It is, and it's the joke is a helt pedagogisk halvcirkel, which is a, you know, wholly, well, pedagogical is not really a term that you would use in English, but it is hilarious. So I think pedagogical is something I'm going to be using from now on. Wholly pedagogical half circle. Banana.
Yananta, wish only that those who dwell within Gia Abania devote themselves to our faith. You shall all worship Sri Lakshmi! Lady of Bliss, grace us once more with your beauteous visage!
Oh no, the water. The other is half banana because some people use banana instead of half circle.
This can't be happening. No crystals were allowed through the door.
We can worry about the how of it later. We need to evacuate these people right now, or the Primal will make thralls of them all.
It's up to us.
Oh, I would have thought that the daughter who woke up would, you know, not be the evil. The daughter would be different. The laser. Cease. That is so funny.
Gods damn it! The guards were already turned! Fools!
No, you don't!
The Kalyana would see us all enthralled.
Then they're going to be sorely disappointed. We have the Warrior of Light and Arenvold to shield us.
Who is Arenvold again? Oh, he's a scion, right.
But they can't well defend your guests and attack the Primal, can they? We're stuck on the back foot.
Alright, I think I have an idea. Keep these people safe, General. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Flip.
Ah, whatever she's about, she'd best make it quick.
I mean,
Come then. Who will be next to die on my steel?
what are we supposed to have Y'shtola and the assassin man Tancred on the outside to make sure? How do we fight her without leaving our allies wide open? We can't stay on the back foot forever. No, damn it. If I think like that we already lost, I have the Warrior of Light and we can do this. Isn't that right, Aver? You can use sorry. Let me turn down the music. You can use the duty action deflect to dissipate the Aether spheres Lakshmi releases during the battle. But be warned that allowing an ally to be enthralled by an Aether sphere will result in failure. Okay. Dunk. Dunk. Oh, and now I use deflect. Okay, well that doesn't seem too problematic. And then I bonk. 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 And then I do this. And then I do this. And then he does. And then I up my damage buff. And then I hit. Oh, this is gonna take a while. Oh, I completely forgot all of the mechanics. It's because they aren't important. Oh yeah, right. And I have to pop this. Uh-oh. Yeah, I almost missed one. That would have been crazy. Oh my god, this is like the most. Well, it's actually not that bad. Okay, you got those, and then I got this, and then I got. Oh my god, I wish I had a hotkey for this. Not even close, baby. Not even close, baby. And I got it.
I shall free you from your hate.
Oh my god, she did it again. I know I missed one. Oh no. Did I lost?
Damn it all! It's only a matter of time before we miss one.
Just don't miss one. Damn Indians and their weird gods.
What of it? Do you want to kill this thing or not?
There's nothing to pull us together like racism. Okay, let me turn it down again a little bit. Don't walk into you, absolute. And now gather. Alright, good. At least you know how to do that. I should probably heal up a little. It's just like playing multiplayer. Oh, there she is. Will lock at best with the rest. You need to run and quickly now while Primal leaves. Can't run away. They need us. I'm not sure what's. And then we stand and fight. Alpha, no, the envoys are in your care. Yeah, get the heck out of here. Surely you. Very well. I shall see our guest to the safety. Yeah, get the heck out of here. Oh, now we can just hit it. Oh, exciting. There we go. I can stand here. Yeah, I can. And then we stack up our big damage buff, and then we activate our big damage buff, and then we do the big damage when we have the big damage buff, and then once the big damage buff is over, we just pop this, and then we have 2 of the big swings again, and then we activate this to get another one of the big swings, and then we activate this one because it's all over cooldown, and then he pushes away, so we just go in and... I can't move! She's going after Lisa Robban. I failed. Oh, click the button. Quick time event. Okay, and activate and then activate this and then exit and then we save everyone. And then we do and then I missed where my mouse is and then Aaron Vald is really bad at this game. And then I click this button. And then we saved everyone. We saved the day. refuse my gift. Yeah, that's me, the gift refuser. Can I turn this? Back to the shop? No, I'm good. And then they stop attacking. Oh my god, these guys don't know what DPS is. Nice work for Dola. Are you alright though? We did nothing. Epic battle sounds. And struggling. Alluring charm? Oh, they did it. He's gonna do it again. I think this is fine. I think I can stand it here. Yeah, because none of them are doing the deeps anyway. You know, maybe if I was a DPS, a lot of this part of the game would be way more engaging. Or I guess it would be over too quickly. And this way, we are engaged for way longer. Which means there's more game. Well, at least I'm not playing a healer. God, getting through this as a healer sounds like it would be actually hell. Who would do such a thing to themselves? Yeah. If only I knew someone that mad. This is a slight at Marin, or sometimes in the chat, or Rubio, who is sometimes in the guild. And by sometimes I mean I don't think he's not in the guild at any point in time. It just sounded right to say. And sometimes you say what sounds right even though it is not right. Behold my divine radiance. Yeah, I'll go and build up some anger. Do I actually build up any anger? Yeah, I do. I swear, if they're just going to kill her off when she's at like 20% health, I'm gonna get so mad. I wanna get the pleasure of working it all the way down to the bone. Oh, this is a DPS check. I see it. Oh, in that case, they are going to... Oh my god. Because I don't actually have the deeps for this. Unless they're like, ah, you didn't play a DPS class. Well, sucks to be you. Oh, they did it. Oh, I hate it when they do this. Like, if you put me in a fight and give the enemy 100% health, then let me empty the 100% health bar. Don't be like, no, it's actually only 80%. Then what is the point of having... It's to create some tension, but like... But you could make the tension in like Tekken 7 in their boss fight with Heihachi really well. Not with Heihachi, sorry, with Kazuya. Shut up, I'm telling a story about Tekken.
We did it! We beat her!
Well, you've had your redemption arc, therefore you are a good person. I wonder if the PGM might take on me, except the AI is better. Well,
What is this? I'm
That's
only
a
going to
sword.
say this once. The Ananta just summoned their primal in the throne room. My friends are fighting her, but they need help. They need someone with the Echo, and by the gods, I wish I had it, but I don't. I told you before that you still had time, but things have changed. I need your answer now. You can end it like Xenos, or you can fight for Alamigo. Your choice.
I feel like I didn't have to see that.
Seven hells. It's her. The butcher.
Oh my god. Okay, so just because your game has a like in-world explanation for flashbacks does not mean that flashbacks are a good storytelling device. It is a crutch. There are some cases I will not die necessarily on the hill that all flashbacks are bad. I think sometimes flashbacks may or could work. However, I think the way flashbacks are used in 99% of cases is wrong. Because it removes all of the tension and all of the interest from a singular moment, and it removes the need to create intelligent forethought in your storyline. Because if you plant the seeds early, if you truly like beat it into my brain that, hey, Fadola, maybe you're interested in saving Alamigo or fighting for Alamigo, and then just leave it at that, which they did, by the by, and then have her come in once Lise runs off, that is great. That is good storytelling, because it shows me exactly what has happened and allows me to infer all of the information that I need. But if you show it to me, then you ruin the moment that I had in my head instead. There's a bunch of different reasons as to why I would dislike, or why I dislike flashbacks. It's also that it ruins the tension of the scene that you're in by explaining what the tension is, and then you have to like context switch between this scene and the previous scene. And again, just because you have a reason, like a story-based reason for why flashbacks exist, do not make the flashbacks good. Rant over. Now, as for the butcher, they're gonna be like, this is my guess, by the way. They're gonna be like, oh, we wanted to kill you, the butcher, but we have chosen that because you helped us, we will put you into exile instead. And then we're like, oh, exile is fine, that's fine by us. And I will have an absolute fucking crash out if they're just gonna be like, oh, well, you betrayed the nation for your entire life and killed a bunch of your countrymen, but you had a change of heart at the last moment, and therefore we forgive you. If that's the storyline, I'm just gonna be sad. I'm just gonna be disappointed, and it is what it is. Man, those weird mice, those shrews look so cute. God, if she just explodes on. It's good, the redemption arc. If they actually have a redemption arc, then yes, then it's fine.
It's done. Take me back to my cell.
Okay, something I despise thoroughly is when an evil character becomes good at the last minute and then dies. Because a redemption arc is really interesting. It's so good, it's so cool, because you can really take a moment to explore someone who has done something that is really bad, but tries their best to live with what they've done and move forward. That is a good storyline, and it's really like telling. But if you basically kill the person directly afterwards, what you do instead is you don't get a redemption arc. You get a pseudo redemption because I heard someone OSP production, I think, described it as like it's a crystallized moment that is stuck in time, because the person does not have to answer for any of their crimes in a productive way, in an interesting way, in a way where they actually have to work through all of the stuff that they've done. They just have this moment of, oh, I was good anyway, so it's all fine. Which is why I think the end of Star Wars is it kind of sucks. Star Wars in and of itself, the storyline is so incredibly bare bones. The world itself that has been built around it over the past 40 years. That's cool, but you've had 40 years to build it. But the original trilogy is really like, it is rock bottom. I understand why a lot of film critics were like, this is just baby goo goo gaga movie. But you know, yeah, it's also fair enough to have stories that are like just simple, like a simple story that has its own simple storyline. That's good. That can be absolutely fine. But the thing is, if you've already seen that storyline enough times, you crave something else, right? Anyway, I was playing a video game, I think. There we go.
You are not forgiven. Not you. You I will never forgive. But I will thank you. For standing against a primal and saving us from servitude. You have my thanks.
God, that was so awkward. It's like, she began walking, and then he started talking, and then she stopped. And then he continued talking, and then she began walking. And then he continued talking, and then she stopped. It's gonna take a while for her to get back to herself if this is the pace we're going at. A good video about design language in Star Wars. Yeah, I mean, that is one thing. They do have some strong design language, I think. Such as, like, especially Darth Vader. Darth Vader is designed really well because he's, well, it is simple, but given the time, it's good. There's also something to be said about having a simple design that conveys everything easily is really good characterization, because you can have design for characters that are all over the place and simply too much. Let's see if I can find a good example. No, all of these are designed fairly well, but sometimes you put too many details on a character, right? And then that character becomes poorly designed because there's too much. But Darth Vader has very few things on him, but he's clearly sold to be exactly what he is, with the big Caputo style helmet and the large flowing black cape. And as for the soldiers, it's a simple. The stormtrooper, sorry. It's like a simple all-white armor that dehumanizes them, which is also strong. And then the rest of the Imperial guys have just, you know, regular Nazi clothing, so you know what they're about. But you said it was design language, not shape language. Okay. Darth Vader's silhouette is very easy to recognize, which is a big part of character design. Yeah, that is true. I would say though, I don't know if his silhouette is that easy, because it's just kind of a big blob. That's what happens when you have a cape, right? So once you put a cape on a character, the silhouette kind of becomes a little messy. Like this silhouette from behind doesn't really say much, because it's like cape down here and then cape over here, so it just becomes like a big block of something, right? It's only when you begin adding the details and the colorings that you begin noticing all of the different parts of it. Team Fortress 2 is a really good example for like good silhouette design, and that's also because they're so, what is it called? They're such caricatures. They're such they're very cartoony. But his design, his shape language is very simple and very easy to recognize, and it's solid. It's a solid piece of design. He is a big block of muscle. Yeah, he is a big block of muscle. But you know who's also a big block of muscle? Heavy, from Team Fortress 2. He's just a big block of muscle, but he's easy to recognize, and that's because he's like. It's also sort of because he's in. Because the game he's in, he stands in contrast to the other characters. And Heavy is also, at this point, popular enough that if you showed me a silhouette of Heavy, I would be like, oh, I think that's Heavy from Team Fortress 2, just based on the silhouette alone. But if you gave me a silhouette of Arthas, what the? Darth Vader, same character. Depending on the mood I was in, I might not be able to recognize exactly what he is. From the side, maybe, because he has that pig snout rebreather. But there's so many. TF2 also has posing to help. Yeah, Darth Vader's monolithic block and specific helmet is what sells his silhouette. All right. Hold on. I have no fear. So let's just whoop up and do this guy. Okay. Darth Vader. Let me take a proper look at it. Okay, so if you just have this, but take out the rest of it. See, the shape design is really good, but if you just make it a silhouette, I have a feeling it would be very difficult to recognize. Not necessarily difficult, because Darth Vader is so recognizable due to how popular he is. But I guess you aren't arguing recognizable or unique. You're basically saying the silhouette he has. Yeah, well, I'm going to ignore the DM. Sorry, what I was thinking of was, of course, the hold on. TF2 silhouette. I was judging it based on how recognizable the character is based on the silhouette. But what the okay, who put Heavy in the wheelchair? But the recognizability of the character design is something that's important in a video game, because it means that a character is easily distinguishable, and if it's a fast-paced game, every little bit helps. to re-recognize. But that's not the important part in the movie. The movie is not asking you to. Okay, then which proper Discord channel should I use? I'm not going to look at Discord while streaming. I'm going to ignore it because I don't believe it's. I don't believe it's a thingy-bob. Something. He just ignores Discord while streaming. Yeah, that's me. I ignore Discord while streaming. Yeah, so the point of the silhouette, as I mentioned, is not about being recognizable. It's about communicating bigness, and it does this effectively. So it definitely succeeds because it's big, it's imposing, and big shoulders, the big cape. Because this is like what capes have always done. The helmet sort of conveys. Yeah, what does the helmet convey? Military, I suppose. I'm not sure what the pig snout. Oh, it's like a skeleton thing, I think. And the big eyes. Yeah, I suppose it's like slightly uncanny. So it's like if we hit up the combine harvester. Hold on, Half-Life. If we hit up these guys, they also have like some skull-shaped design in there. Can I get combine helmet? No, it's not quite as I remember. But it does have that gas mask kind of thing. Yeah. He ignores. And then search for. And then hold on. Let me read chat. Just hold on. Then search for his silhouette. Okay. Darth Vader silhouette. Oh. See, if you gave me this as the silhouette by itself, I wouldn't necessarily think Darth Vader. This one due to the lightsaber, yes. But now we're again in like Darth Vader is such a cultural icon that I recognize it because I know we're talking about Darth Vader, because I know Darth Vader is so big. But if you just gave me this, I would be like, yeah, it's a guy with a helmet. Or it's like a building on top of a mountain. Argue that it is recognizable. During instances, he also ignores streaming chat. Yeah, yes, the Half-Life Combine has a very strong inspiration from the Russian PMG gas mask. Yeah, I would argue that this isn't that recognizable. It is. Too many things can have this generalized shape. This is recognizable. This is a little bit, I guess. No, more this. This is recognizable. But that's also because now we have some of the details of the angular plates on his chest. We have the pig snout, and then we have the helmet clearly. So, like, that's the really difficult part, because you have to sort of remove how important Darth Vader is culturally when having this discussion, right? Because you can recognize things more easily based on how important they are in your life. Well, you don't know about TF2. Scout silhouette would also look like a dude holding a bat. Yes. But if you put these against each other, it is more recognizable. Hold up, I am lacking the words to explain properly why I think you are completely wrong. However, I will give you that back to what I was saying about like the silhouette not necessarily being recognizable, or you necessarily clocking what it is and who it is based on the silhouette alone. But with all of the rest of the design on top of it, then we're talking. Now we can see like this is a big block of imposing. Oh, whoops. Darth Vader. Silhouette. I will take a look at the video you sent later. But I don't know if I'd give it to someone to say, oh, we gave him a cape and a helmet and therefore the silhouette is good. If you know what I mean. Because you could do that to anyone, and in fact people have done that to anyone. It's an interesting design discussion. If I knew anything about design, it would probably be even more interesting, because I could actually give some proper pushback. Oh, I didn't send the video, but I could try and dig it out. Ah, alright. I'd appreciate it. Well fought, Avery. Ehrenwald, that was a near thing. Our stand against the Kalyana would have been brief indeed had you not volunteered for guard duty. We'd be enthralled as surely as our sentries were. They must have planned this far in advance. Security was my responsibility. Also, we do have 2 scions who just didn't show up. And I know how dangerous primals can be. I should have... Ugh, it's my fault. My stupid mistake. Alas, we're all caught unawares. We will make this as a lesson, and we'll watch our own more carefully in the future. Let me turn down this music. Sheesh. You can be sure that the lackeys who smuggled the crystals into the throne room weren't the only thralls in our ranks. The soldiers who first spoke up in favor of the Kalyana keeping their weapons springs to mind. Oh, there she is. A primal servant is betrayed by his aura. If you mean to conduct an investigation, I can identify any others acting under Sri Lakshmi's influence. Thank you, Yustola. We'd appreciate the help. Speaking of help, I almost fell over when Fodola turned up. What was she even doing there? Well, didn't you see the flashback? I asked her to come. Well, that explains it then. It's sad, but Ragnfried was right. Her victims will never forgive her for what she's done. But I don't think Fodola's picked up that sword looking for forgiveness. She just wanted to fight for her country. If you say the word in which Fodola, and the world in which Fodola grew up, partly to blame for what she became, and then as Alamigan I feel responsible for improving that world. We can't ignore what's happening right now. So it's like, it's due to nurture, not nature. We can't ignore what's happening right now. We have to show people better than vengeance and giving new generation skulls. I knew it's idealistic, but we have to help people let go of their old grievances and make peace with each other. And I'll hold 1,000 meetings and talk till I'm blue in the face, if that's what it takes. Oh, my chair's like sinking. It's sinking down, so I have to like push it up. On my wrist. It is a long and arduous path you have chosen, but one well worth walking. Rest assured that I will do what I can to help you reach your destination. Thank you, Alphino. The first two will get representatives back in the throne room. They're a little shaken, but not one of them seemed ready to run. We're all determined to finish what we started. I will see that you are not interrupted, Ivory. You and the Scions are to stand down. Get some rest. You've earned it. I mean, I guess there just won't be any more assassination attempts, Lamar.
A fine spot to contemplate the heavens. The meeting is over. The envoys have chosen to instate a government model on Ishgard's House of Commons, a ruling body of representatives elected by the people. It is a fair decision, and one which signals the end of my part in all this. But I would gaze upon Girabania's stars one last time before I leave. Forget something?
You cannot.
There was no word.
You cannot be serious. Rauban. Ivory walks in full plate armor. She has metal underfooted sabatons. You can't be like, oh, those moccasins, they sound a lot like full plate armor.
Raubon Aldin, you are hereby dismissed as General of the Immortal Flames and relieved of your seat on the Syndicate.
But, Your Grace...
Raubon, I am no longer a child. Stay here in your homeland. Work with your brethren. Rebuild Alamigo.
You desire to stand alone. I understand, but remember what happened.
I remember full well the consequences of my naivety, and thus did I consult at length with a most trusted advisor ere I embarked upon this course.
A most trusted advisor? And what of me? Am I no longer deserving of your confidence?
What trust can there be between us when you withhold the truth from me?
What?
Did you think me oblivious to the anguish in your eyes when you spoke of returning to Uldar?
Oh. Yeah, it couldn't be me.
For years and years, we have trusted one another. Yet now you refuse to confess your heart's desire?
I swore an oath to you that day on the sands. I pledged my sword.
And it has served me well. But in Pippin you have forged a new sword, as sharp and deadly as the blade you bequeathed him.
Ain't that the truth? I would also be sad if I had to go back to Uldar. Well, as we saw last stream, that is a lie. I actually enjoyed my time going back to Uldar.
I will show you a Sultana who can wield every weapon at her disposal, including Lolorito and his monetarist cronies. So follow your heart, please. You are home. You are free.
Man, her eyeballs look like candy.
None more.
Smile for me, Raubarn. I would have this parting be a joyous one.
Thank you, Your Grace. It has been an honor to serve you and Oda.
Tomorrow you will serve Alamigo and fight for the good of all Eorzea. Am I understood?
Yes, Your Grace.
Ah, it was about the armor itself. Alright. Well, that is slightly different. Ding. Ding. Alright, Lise.
Thanks for shielding us from Lakshmi, you two. If you hadn't been there, the rest of us would be worshipping her by now.
You're kind to include me, Lise, but we both know who did most of the work. I could scarce keep track of the battle, let alone land a telling blow.
Yeah, I'm cool though.
No shame in admitting it. The Warrior of Light has put far better men than me in the shade.
Oh, that reminds me. There's a saying I learned.
Did I mention that I encountered the Sultana in the palace? It would seem Her Grace has come to Girabania to oversee the final stages of her relocation project.
There is a term. I learned this in Japan. Okay, so now I'm gonna be for a moment. Excuse me, while I'm gonna be one of those I went to India and found myself kind of people. But a friend of mine who studies Japanese, he told me that there is a fairly normal term for respect that you show someone else, and it is may I walk in your shade, I believe it is. And where I originally had thought, oh, the idea is if I walk in someone's shade, it means that they are bigger than me, and therefore learning. No, couldn't be me. I don't learn things. I just say I do, and you know, act like that's yeah. Act like that's me when I. Sorry, I lost the thread. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So when you say I may I walk in your shade, you would think it means that someone larger than you casts a shade in which you can learn, or in which you can rest. It is a term for like when a master teaches you something. But what it actually is supposed to represent, and I find this way more fascinating, is the person you are referring to has planted a seed that has grown into a tree, and underneath that tree you can remain in the shade. So it's not about their shade, it is about the shade that they have created via the tree. Isn't that cool? I love like what's it called? Like when languages have terms, they have like hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Proverbs. Proverbs or sayings. I love those because they always have some cool, neat, or interesting story behind them. Makes me happy.
She was in search of General Oldin, and I directed her to the rooftop garden. I do hope he was still there.
Are you in the habit of gossiping about the affairs of royalty, Master Leveilleur?
Certainly not, Your Grace. I was merely informing my companions.
Be at ease, Alphino. 'Twas only a jest. But I must yield the floor to Raubarn. He has an important announcement to make.
This Sultana's bitch ass motherfucker.
As of yesternight, I have been relieved of my post in the Immortal Flames and the Syndicate both.
I shall be assuming my father's duties. And may I say that Tizona has never felt heavier upon my back.
Alright. Adam, I've hereby declared that I no longer have any reason to ever want to return to Uldar.
Twould seem I am in need of employment. Mayhap one of my old acquaintances can introduce me to a mercenary company or some such.
You may be getting on in years, Father, but you'd struggle to find a band of sellswords who wouldn't snap your hand off. Your remaining hand.
Yes, the bull of Alamigo need not be put out to pasture just yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Your Grace has developed a wicked edge to her humor, and you, Pippin, would do well not to laugh when the future may hold the same for you.
Raban was a cool character. Or is, I guess. Definitely among the three original cities.
So, does this mean you're staying?
He's the most interesting of the sort of leader characters.
Aye. That seems to be the way of it. I would be glad to aid you in rebuilding our nation, if you'll have me.
If, he says. Welcome home, Raubarn.
Oh, dab me up. Oh, damn it. I really missed a great opportunity.
Well, that was unexpected. Though you seem distinctly unsurprised.
That's because I'm a fucking kid.
Either you are more astute than I give you credit for, or I'm losing my touch. In any event, one thing is certain. Alamigo will rejoice at the homecoming of her dearest son.
That's with an O. I think it's about time I headed back to Rogger's Reach. Watch your yet for all of you. Alizé will be eager to hear of recent events, so I shall join you, if you've no objections. I'd welcome the company. Ivory, why don't you come along and to the Reach and once farewells to Nanamo and the others. Do I have to? Upon completing of this quest, you will be able to access the palace's rooftop gardens by speaking to the royal menagerie attendant. I am leaving. Wait, hold on. It seems my road has come full circle. I appreciate the support you showed me for my earlier decision, overruled though it was. I've asked enough of you, Ivory. My only words for you now are those of gratitude. I must assume my father's responsibilities without delay, lest our rivals, both inside and outside of Uldar, treat his dismissal as a window of opportunity. Rest assured, they will find Tizona's edge just as sharp in my hands. Alright. What a touching moment. Anyway, time to spend $271 Redinos. This is an accurate representation of what it feels like to travel with public transport in Denmark. No, you can go anywhere fairly quickly with only a few sets of delays. However, it costs a lot of money. And then sometimes you're just stuck with in a train carriage with 20 other people and there's no room and you can't move and it's sweaty and you're getting a panic attack and you have to lie down, but there's no place to lie down because you can only stand because there's no room. Oh. Well, have a nice evening then. It is heading towards the bedtime time. Thank you for coming by and thank you for being actually active for some reason. I'm sure that there's no amount of story that's going to happen that's going to be unexpected, expected, or otherwise. It is just going to be exactly what it be and is. Well, here we are again. Alphino has regaled me with such a thrilling tale of hidden treasure troves, mid-meeting betrayals, unlikely alliances, and joyous homecomings. It would seem I missed everything. Ah, it's fine. Wait, you're working? I hope you're not working on actual work stuff while, you know, not at the office. Sheesh. I was patrolling the palace grounds with Thancred and Y'shtola when we heard the report of a primal in the throne room. I honestly doubted my own ears. Not for the company. Gucci. That's good. Well, in that case, what are you working on? Just out of curiosity. As others have said, we were lucky to have our Echo-blessed champions nearby this time, but we'll need to keep a closer eye for the Kalyana. You can say that again. This whole episode has reminded me just how far apart our kind still are. It looks like centuries of fear and mistrust really can't be washed away in a day, but someone has to make an effort at reconciliation if these conflicts are ever going to end. Yeah, this is the kind of thing I think would be really cool if we explored more of. Naturally, a lot of people are crying out for vengeance, but I've done my best to calm things down. Violent reprisals will lead to no more summonings. Indeed, violence will ever beget violence, as the Empire has learned to its cost in recent times. In any case, summoning Lakshmi was the Brood Mother's doing, and whoever replaces her might not be so keen on the idea. We'll just have to watch and wait. Which isn't to say we won't be putting the safety of our allies in the Vira and tribes first. I plan to have resistance scouts keep track of the Kalyana's movements at all times. I'm making a Ukrainian logo of Twilight for the review video. Ooh. All 5 of them. Ooh. I have not watched Twilight. I simply assumed back when it came out that this probably was not for me, and I'm going to assume that I was right. Since when can we not just tell people to do the right thing and then everybody are happy? Yeah, why can't people just, why can't I just tell people, hey, climate change is bad, and then everyone claps and they're like, let's stop climate change immediately. Wonder why that doesn't happen. My parents would be relieved to hear that. What are your plans for the rest of the Resistance Army out of interest? Are we to prepare for Imperial counterattacks? That would be a question for the Resistance's newest recruit, a military commander with far more experience than I. What? The Bull of Alamigo? Well, we call it an army, but the Resistance is really a collection of smaller independent groups, and when Conrad passed his command on to me, that authority only extended to the freedom fighters based in Rorgos Reach. Or I want that land and it should be mine. Yeah. I want the land and it's mine. I want the money, it's mine. He just happened to be serving as the resistance spokesman at the time, and he needed someone to take over the role for everything that was in disarray, but that time has passed. When I speak with the other leaders about reforming the army under the new government, I'll be nominating Rauban as the overall commander of our forces. He has more experience than the rest of us put together, and we stand to learn a lot from him. Indeed, he is in all respects the ideal choice. Assuming he accepts the post, Alamigo will have added a formidable weapon to its arsenal. And, arse. And given the progress of Nanamo's resettlement initiative, I see great cause for hope. The seeds which we so carefully sown has begun to quicken, my friends. I like that. We tend to our promises and watch as Alamigo blooms. Ooh. We're now in, what was it, 4.2? That's crazy. Oh, what's going on in Japan? Oh no. I do not give thanks to the kami that my makeshift raft withstood the fury of the seas. But their generosity ended. Without coins in our pockets for new attire, we are doomed to look like so much jetsam. Oh, woe betide the poor man in a city of rich merchants. Ugh. These dango are delicious. Will you have one? More sweetbreads? I surrendered my blade to secure what few coins we have. I guess the story mirrors itself. So there's the same thing about Yutsuyu that's gonna be like, oh, she can be redeemed. It's all about redemption. It's the same thing with Fadola. Now she can be redeemed as well. 'Tis like talking to a child. Why fate saddled me with this burden I shall never know, but I am alive, and I must return to my master's side. Too bad your master's a ninja. Come, Tsuyu. We shall find a ship to carry us across the Ruby Sea. Oh no. Oh no, don't tell me. Don't tell me that she has amnesia. No, that cannot be the storyline. They already did this and it was bad the first time. Every time people do an amnesia storyline, it's awful. No. No, don't. Sorry, I'm just writing something down real quick. Have you read the reports? First Doma, then Alamigo. And Lord Xenos put to the sword. Do not believe everything you read. I hear the Viceroy was merely wounded, and that he has already returned to the capital. Naturally, the savages beat their chests and boast loudly of taking his head. Regardless. Nay, Lord Xenos lives. Deplorable that our own officers should be fooled by also misinformation. Small wonder the provinces have begun rising up in rebellion. We must prepare an official and above all accurate announcement to quell these pernicious rumors. They would... Sorry, I clicked the button at the wrong time. Gasp. It's one of his 12 younger brothers. Bing, 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 whip, bing, bing. Ding. Alright. Let's see if we can't get 1 or 2 quests into... greeting. Into the next set. Ivory, great timing. I was just about to send word to the Scions. I've got lots to tell you. The Council has officially recognized the Resistance as our standing army, and I expect you to guess who's been appointed commander. Suffice it to say, we're in good hand. Having the Bull of Alamigo at the helm done wonders for morale. People were dancing in the streets when the announcement was made, and we have you and the Sultana to thank for it. If you two hadn't worked your magic, he'd never have contemplated following his art. The Council also decreed that we're to maintain the presence at Rorger's Reach. Lise will continue to lead our forces in the fringes, a job she's been doing tirelessly, a bit too tirelessly some might say. We're constantly having to remind her to rest before she falls over. That's an exaggeration, and I always get up again. Anyway, we can hardly afford to lower our guard now, not after our latest brush with Lakshmi. Speaking of which, we've been keeping a close eye on the Kalyana, and it looks like they've chosen a new leader. It's, Shanti's daughter. You know, the half-dead one. Oh, I thought that was the one that did the summoning. For whatever reason, the Kalyana thought she was the best candidate, which makes them leaderless, basically. As things stand, there's no prospect of engaging in talks, let alone coming to an understanding. But I won't let that stop me. I'll let on reaching out to them until they finally see sense. Just like I've been reaching out to Fodola. She still won't meet my gaze, but she's given up on trying to ignore me. It may only be the odd grunt, but at least she's responding. I'll get through to her yet. Ivory, there you are. Alphino, Alice, is everything alright? We've received word from Tataru. Hancock has apparently acquired information of great interest and urgency. More than that, she didn't say. Although, that we could have come to only that we should come to Kugane right away. I had in mind for the two of us to set forth together, but Alisate is determined to make it a party of 3. As I've told you more than a dozen times, brother, my wounds are quite healed, and I would benefit from some fresh air. Besides, you may as well need the extra pair of hands. Worry not, sister. I've quite given up on trying to convince you. Whether we be 2 or 3, we should depart as soon as possible. You will be joining us, I trust. I was about to say I'd come to, but I'll guess I'll settle for cheering you on from afar. Good luck with whatever it turns out to be. Thank you, Lise. Rest assured, should this business be prove to be of even tangential concern to Alamigo, we shall inform you without delay. Let us be off then. Hancock and Tataru await us at the Ruby Bazaar offices. And that'll cost us 1,000 dinos. Because we have to travel here. 1259. Dungeon? Oh yeah, we're going to dungeon. Beep beep boop beep 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 boop boop boop. Where's the dungeon at? Wait, where is the dungeon at? Wasn't there supposed to be a dungeon here? Wait. That could have been avoided. No, the dungeon could not be avoided. You're probably talking about something else. Dramatis personae. Ooh. It's in the Ruby Sea, you see. The sea, no, not the fee. But the sea. Oh no, that I clicked the Lanosha button. Okay, which one? It was this one, Palace of Lost Souls. Yeah. Then we're going to Damado. I proposed this to give you free transport. Well, no. Oh wait, no, I have to find my way out of here. Okay. Oh, bloop, 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 bloop. Rasenkagio. Time to go via U-boat. And it's all the way over there. Alright, it'll be a while. But I'm getting there. Oh wait, that's another bubble. Oh, it's because this is that bubble and that was the other bubble. No, that was... Huh? Then, wait, which bubble did I travel to? Hold on. Yeah, I traveled to this bubble. And then there's that bubble. There's these other bubbles. Bloop, 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 bloop. So, shallow seas, right, are the areas in which you have the most amount of wildlife. Wildlife, sorry, I mean, like, just diversity in biodiversity is the word I'm looking for. But you know, words are not my specialty. Yeah, it's just something neat. So, like, this underwater area, not that bad. There could be more. They could do more colors, but like, I do like that there's actually life down there, and it's not just salt water and nothing lives. Apropos, that means that's one of the reasons why the North Sea was so full of different kinds of wildlife until we overfished it to death. It is what happens when humans are hungry, and there's a lot of us. We don't know how to actually deal with the situation. Did you ask the other people to... did you ask the other people to if they wanted to join? Otherwise I can send out a feeler. I did not. Okay, I will send out the question. I will be like general who wants what is this one called again? Palace of Lost Souls? Question mark. And then we'll just give it just a short little bit. Hey, there's also corals down here, but there was nothing on the entire journey here. It was just sheer rock. I suppose that's to like save something on fidelity, but I'm gonna be honest, it kind of ruins this entire trench. I think if they filled it up with a bunch of stuff, I guess it would also send the wrong signal, because there really isn't anything but this thing down here. But it makes it really difficult to spot, so it feels like you just kind of... I mean, it's nice because I like the exploration part of it. But, yeah, but because then when you discover it, it feels like, ooh, you've discovered something secret. Ooh. But seeing as it's also for flight, it kind of seems a bit silly, you know, that they kind of hide it away. But as a, like, if it was just a regular dungeon that was kind of hidden, that would be so cool. But if it's for flight, like, people will just look it up. It becomes less important, I guess. Oh, someone... It was Zenobe. Zenobe did a thumbs up. But he has not joined yet. And again, we have these... Like, it still seems so strange to me to have these walls underwater. Because they clearly wouldn't be able to withstand the water over time. Because this, right, these tilings are for rainwater, to funnel rainwater down. What is the point of having them underwater? Right? You would look for some different structure that would be better at resisting the pressure. Like a sort of round shape, but this is like... how do tiles work again? It's like they're stuck on top of each other with like an interlocking system. Which means they use mainly gravity, I think, to keep each other down. So I guess the pressure would also help keeping them down. But if there's like a sufficiently watery, not a breeze, but like water coming in, then it would push the tiles up. What was that sound? Guy coming out? Sound of jumping out of the... Oh, mounting up, I guess. Okay. Yeah, what I was saying was there are two designers inside of me. One part of me is like, I want a lot of stuff, a lot of glowy thingy-mabobs, all the way down as you're led towards this cavern. The issue with it is that it's still going to be empty. There's still going to be a lot of nothing. So it might trick whoever is, you know, interested in traveling down here to... Oh, sorry, I had opened Discord like an idiot. Invite to party. Oh, yeah, you figured it out. Yeah, I did super duper ignore. My apologies, I wasn't paying attention to chat. I was looking at this. Because, like, one would fill up all of this with stuff in order to, like, make it seem like, one, there's things down here, and two, there's something pretty to look at while you go down here. And also, it wouldn't make this place seem like such a weird oasis-like thing. Anyway, we are ready, I think. It doesn't seem like anyone else are joining, so we're going in. And this one, and let's clear all selection just to make sure this is the only one. Only the party leader can register for duty. Good thing I'm the party leader. Wonder how that happened. Well, I wouldn't question it. How does this light even work? Well, it can't be fire-based. It has to be some kind of magic. Looks neat. And it's... Is it angled down? It looks like it's angled down a little bit based on this lighting. But it's not angled down here. Maybe it's just me who's bad at, like, how does light work. Oh, we're missing a healer. Alright. Such is the life of not healing. Because everyone just wants to be the deeps in this game for some reason. I feel underappreciated. Well, there's a good reason for that. But don't worry about it. It's simply because I have a bad habit of ignoring chat for some periods of time sometimes. And also not shouting out how you are literally taking care of inviting people to how it works. Sorry, I'm just taken aback by the cutscene. There's a lake under the sea. Okay, let me... Oh yeah. We have a butler with us. Okay, let's see how much I can tank. Oh, I should probably do this one. Oh yeah, no communication with the tank either. Ah, that's probably fine. What's the worst that could happen? Sorry, did I say the tank? I meant the healer. Yeah, you can see the healer's name up at the top. It's fine. It's their fault for choosing to heal. Now I'm doxing the name. Oh, I'm back to being an interesting warrior again, because I have the regular berserk ability. Oh, this is not the right way. Fish flush. All right. Let me see. All right. We're going to the right, but I'm just gonna pick up the anglerfish here. The Anglo. You know, that's funny because yeah, oh, it's called an Ango. Okay, I guess they realized they couldn't call something the Anglofish because Anglo is just like another word for English speaking. Flounder. There's a move called Flounder. That's funny because that's a fish name. And I'm gonna do something illegal, which is regular attacks. Why? Come on. Join me in battle against myself. There we go. Sorry for letting you take some hits. I will build up some anger instead of AoEing, because I'm just built like that. And also I wanted 100 anger. Okay, another splash time. Oh, I have a physical vulnerability up. Ah, that's fine. It's probably gonna run out soon. And by probably I mean it's run out now. And I'm going in. I should have activated critical for this. Okay. And I'm just keeping myself topped off. It looks like it was supposed to be a... Oh, the leg? Hit the leg! He fell over. What a fool! What an idiot! Oh, this guy. I know about this guy. Just hit him in the jaw. That's his weak point. Yeah, that's because they use the same model. But no, in fact, oh, I don't have a mitigation for this. Well, now I have a mitigation for that. Oh wait, oh, I didn't see the other one. Ah, my bad. But you managed to kill it, so it's all good. Oh, let me just activate anger and crit, and then crit. And then activate this, and then crit again, and then punch him. And then do the healing ability, and then... Ooh, let me... Oh, boots. What do their boots look like? They look awful. And rings, I am uninterested in. How did they get paper down here? These are just regular palace guards. I forgot what the law of this area was supposed to be. Oh, they're after my healer. This is unacceptable. Let me activate the reprisal so they take a little bit of damage. No, that's not reprisal. That's vengeance. Vengeance. I've activated vengeance. Let's see if we can spawn some more enemies in. Yeah, I believe in you. You guys can take care of that shit. Law equals something something, waterless area in the ocean. Yeah, but that's like, all of these areas are like, oh, that's the waterless area. Fall back! Cowards! Nah, I'd live. Captain of the guard. Oh, so he's supposed to be a little cooler than the rest of them. It's not really working out for them. Team Tonk. Ooh. I mean, what a terrible enemy. And that's the last enemy. Okay, sure. And critical. And critical. And critical. And I don't have any mitigation for this. But that's fine, I can just heal up. Because that's my class. I heal myself. Seduce? Or is that like a look away thing? No, that's going to a okay, I see. I have to go to the box. The more you know. Ah, to become one of those. Okay, I see. And I got saved. Best healer I've ever had. Okay. Throws down some AoEs. Not too scary. And then it does a Corollas kick. And I'm waiting because I'm a little greedy. Okay, I am very greedy. Damn, I'm good at this game. Absolutely owned. Wait, hold on. Let me walk out of the kick. I'm just an old hermit. Okay, now I have mitigations. Let me just heal that up. Oh damn, what a difficult encounter. I was so close. Lady. I've never seen someone further away. Ooh, is that a gun? No, it's a headband. It's okay, I'll greet on it. That's an earring. That's a cote. What is a cote? Oh, is that a headpiece? No. What is a cote? Oh, it's for hands. Pass and pass. Okay. Oh, I guess it's dodge the pufferfish. The mini game. The main game. Oof, ouchie. Let me AoE you. And use that to get full health. As though I didn't have a healer that healed me to full health. Wait, no? Oh, I can't go through. Well, shucks. I guess we'll just stand here and do the AoEs. Whoa. I guess I can do the vengeance thing. Boonga boonga. The big AoEs. Oh, the pufferfish explode. Okay, to the left. Ooh, my man's looking for... okay, so what is this? What is a kochau? Oh, that's a... it's a... Okay, yeah. It's the leggings things. The vault bracket. Let me just do one of these real quick so I can get to 100 Angie. There we go. I am the greed mancer. I could have waited until there was only one there. No, everyone is doing AoE, so all of them would have died at around the same time. Ooh. Mapping the realm. That means I've seen the entire dungeon. Oh, beautiful. You know, this is just like the patch expansion in World of Warcraft where they introduced Ashara. Because it's about as meaningful. We really got a mentor worth the title. We do? Alright. Good to know. Let me just make sure I actually have this, and then critical time. Critical. 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 I took no damage. A thick fog. She conceals herself. What is the churn? The churn? Okay, we hit the churn. Message received. Oh, splish splash. Just like in Amnesia. But way less spooky. Ooh, whoop, whoop, whoop. And bam, now I take no damage again. I can do like a short little critical here and still have... I do not have time to build up all of the anger, but I have another piece of anger ready to go. It has a mad stare, so I should probably turn around. Oh, I didn't turn around fast enough. Because this game has lag. I'm very afraid. Oh! Still got the crit off. Never punished. And doing the AoEs. And we'll just do a bit of deeps on this. Splish, splash, splish. And then it's over there, and then we just wait. And we jump. It's the AoE. AoE? It's the MMO thing that everyone does. Jumping. Mad stare. This time I'll turn around now. Ugh. Ugh. My buttocks. Okay. Exciting. Now I know how to fly. Time to never go back in the water. Who the... Oh, yeah, right. Loot. Ruby Tithe Paladins. Well, I didn't take a look at them. And just joy. What is a joy? Oh, it's one of these. Not really my vibe, I think. And a player commendation. Oh, what a nice picture. Well, I couldn't press the button. Too bad. Oh, you'd think that... Wait. Oh, yeah, there she is. Kurenai. Nai means the negation of. So she is not Kure. I know not how to thank you. You saved them, Ivory. You saved all of them, even the Ruby Princess. I did. Well, she is unharmed. She is currently unconscious. Jiuzai has carried her to Zuino Zato, where she might rest undisturbed. It looks like it will be a while before she awakens. Before we speak any further, however, let us return to the village. Bloop, 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 bloop. Can I teleport there? I'm just going to ride because it's kind of the same thing. Ooh, we got the bug again. Oh wait, hold on. There's a thingy here where I can do slash lookout. Sightseeing log. We do love some sightseeing around these parts. Right, and now we're just swimming straight up. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. See, this is the part where I'm thinking there really isn't anything here. And I mean, I guess it's a vibe to go for, but it just seems, I don't know, a little unfitting when you consider how light, how colorful it is at the bottom. Yeah, but it's not that bad. Oh, the Adventure. There's a place called the Adventure. Oh, it's the ship. I see. So it's probably part of like some side quests. I really don't understand why there are so many side quests in this game. Hello, not Kure. Please allow me to once again thank you for your help. You may be happy to hear that the palace guards are all slowly beginning to return to their senses. It seems peace has finally been restored to the palace. You have saved everyone, including Shiosai, from an untimely death. If only the Ruby Princess would open her eyes, Suinosato will be exactly as it was before. I suppose we must simply be grateful for how things turned out. Now that the worst of the storm has passed and the tides have begun to calm, it is time that I came clean. Huh. Well, these are like way worse than all of my stuff. So I think, at least I think it's worse than my stuff. I should have taken the materia so it doesn't fill that much. Could a knight ready to divulge her great secret? The hour of truth is upon us, yet I am just unsure of where to begin. The Ruby Princess who slumbers on, she... Perhaps she will be easier to explain if you could look upon her as I speak. Please, follow me. Well, I shall follow you. Shiosai will be bringing her out shortly. She will be only a few moments longer. I swear she was bigger before. Oh, Hisui. Why do you refuse to open your eyes? Me in the morning. Oh, Ivory. There is something you must know. I am not the Ruby Prince's younger sister. In fact, she has no sister. I am not the Ruby Princess's... sorry, I didn't click properly. I am the Ruby Princess, ruler of Suinosato. Gasp! If you're a princess, why are you the ruler? The slumbering girl before you goes by the name of Hisui, and is the dearest friend. We have known one another since childhood. Your Grace, I am entirely to blame. Had I been more prepared, more aware, Lady Hisui would not be in this sorry state. You see, a few days ago we received visitors from the outside. They had come to perform for a court ritual to protect the Ruby Princess from any potential dangers. We decided to conceal her true identity. I had her lady-in-waiting, Hisui, take her place. As she... What is a lady-in-waiting? It's like someone who is helping? We really got a... Yeah, sorry. I was just reading chat for no reason when nothing happened in chat. My bad. That's me. Reading chat when no chat is happening and not reading chat when it is. As she and Her Highness bear a great resemblance to each other, something owing to the fact that they are distant blood relatives, I was confident no one would notice the shift. A lady-in-waiting, alternative lady-in-waiting, or court lady, is a female personal noblewoman historically in Europe. A lady-waiting was often a noblewoman but of lower rank than the woman to whom she attended. Ooh. Well, thank you very much for the information, Anastasia. I really hope all of that was just written up and not like, let me just Google this real quick. And also, hello Nico. you have just arrived in time for me ending the stream in like 12 minutes. And also, I have noticed that now it has become kind of cold. So I will go and close my door that I had opened once when it was hot. Ugh. And now I'm coming back to the computer. Ugh. I was right. That is why, when proceedings commenced, it was Lady Hisui who became possessed by the terrible fiend they summoned, and now, well, you can see for yourself what has become of her. You just got back from work? Oh, well, I hope you'll just not come to work tomorrow then. Easy as pie. To mitigate such disasters, severe restrictions on who can enter and exit Hisui of the Violet Tides have always been in place. In fact, even the Ruby Princess is forbidden by law to leave its gates. When wraith after wraith began appearing, however, I was left with little choice. I whisked Her Highness away to the village and had her pretend to be the Ruby Princess's sister, Kurenai. Kurenai. That was the name I had before my mother passed away, and I assumed the title of Ruby Princess. It was also the name Hisui would call me by growing up. Sorry. The commas? I Googled it. I know the meaning, but I can't explain with my own words. It took too long to explain it myself. You know? Fair enough. From the best of time to all the laughter and tears we shared, Hisui. This is where it ends. Forgive me, Your Grace. This is my fault. If only there was a way I could go back and prevent all of this. Shiosai, there is nothing to forgive. None of us could have predicted this would happen. You are no more to blame for what has happened than I am. Sadness. Ivory, now you know everything. I hope you do not think any less of me for my lie. Listen, lady. It's kind of whatever. Now that everything here has been settled, I shall be departing from Suinosato. The cure to Hisui's condition can only be found above. I know this because as Ruby Princess, it was my duty to study all the available writings at the palace. Very well, Your Grace. Where would you have us go? No, Shiosai, I shall be embarking upon this quest on my own. You will be staying here. The people need you to protect them in my absence. Gasp. This is probably going to be important in like 3 expansions. Her Grace has made it clear she would have me remain behind. Mistress Ivory, might you accompany her in my stead? While Lady Hisui's body remains, her soul has long departed. I fear that no amount of rest or magics can cure her. I can only hope that in traveling with you, it will make it easier for Her Grace to come to terms with the tragic fate of her friend. Until such a time, she must face this truth. However, I ask, nay, beg, that you keep her safe. I have a main story quest to do. Goodbye. Oh, I can complete the story quest over here, and then continue it. You are offering to accompany me on my travels. That is incredibly generous of you. Thank you. I shall give you some time to prepare for the Suinosato. Please come with me and provide me as soon as you can. Okay, I'll take this because it feels less in my important part of the inventory. You are ready to depart? Excellent. Let us go to Okonokokoro. I believe we will be best served by beginning our search there. You see, while we have no contact with the outside world, we receive occasional visits from the Kojin of the Blue. During such a visit, I was able to tome filled with fairy tales. It was all worn. And from what I was given to understand, written in Kugane. In it was a story about a fisherman who sailed the Ruby Sea. While traveling, he came across a princess who had fallen into a years-long slumber. He was eventually awakened upon taking an elixir of some sort. What intrigues me, however, is the fact that many of the places the fisherman visited exist in the real world. It makes me wonder if perhaps the story is rooted in reality. The tale begins in Onokokoro. I trust that you will escort me there. I'll just teleport. Thank you. Now let us depart without any further ado. And off she goes. Yeah, I'll just wait. Oh, that is the Onokoro. I thought it was the other, you know, the Kojin of the blue place. Boom, 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 Pachika. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. The boisterous pirate. So this is Onokoro. It is a lovely place. The people here are incredibly warm. Take this gentleman, for example. As soon as I set foot on the island, he offered to take me on a tour. What are you looking at? Yeah? So you're going to stand there and ignore me? Is that it then? Wait a minute, I know you. My comments talk about you all the time. My apologies, ma'am. I was only just joking with you, of course. One can never have enough rich or powerful friends. That is why I approached your young charge. I figured if I helped her now, she'd someday return the favor, should I ever need it. So what brings you to our island? You're looking to learn more about a fairy tale? Well, I know nothing about fairies or tales, but maybe I can direct you to someone who does. There's a fisherman who visits us across the hunt for treasure. Some of the men say all the seas themselves. I reckon he or anyone will be able to tell you a story. Luckily for you, she just arrived the other day. You should be able to find it on Quick Escape Pier. Thank you for your assistance, sir. We will go and speak with him right away. Not to worry, little lady. Just be sure to remember my name and pay me back when the time comes. Alright, I will remember the name Boisterous Pirate. I will read it. The kind gentleman ever give us his name? Yeah, his name is Boisterous Pirate. Without a name, I'm afraid I will be unable to send him in payment for his help. 'Tis terribly unfortunate, but there is little that can be done. Now let us promptly make for Quick Escape Pier. We do not want to miss the fisherman. The fisherman. Alright, it's all the way over there. And I have the ability to fly. Click. Okay. Fate joined. Fate left. Fate failed. Fate, stay night. Hello there. Is there something you need? The tale of the fisherman and the ruby sea. Ah, yes, indeed. It has been a long time since I heard that one. I believe it was my great-grandfather who told me. Or perhaps my great-great-grandfather. Or perhaps my... That's all well and good, sir. But if you could please tell us your story. Just tell us. Yeah. Oh, yes, my apologies. Let's see if I can remember how it went. Oh, I very much hope that you have not forgotten it. We might never know the whole tale. If you have, the tome I received as a child was so tattered, I could only read bits and pieces of the story. I recall now, once upon a time there was a fisherman on the island of Onokoro, who saved a Kojin of the Blue from the maws of a terrible beast. As thanks, the Kojin offered him a vial of liquid. When taken, it would allow the fisherman to plunge into the far depths of the ocean without drowning. It was there that their journey together began. They visited temples, palaces, and villages under that sea. They met all manner of men, women, and creatures, including a beautiful princess who had fallen into a deep slumber. According to her people, she had been like that for years. Hearing this, the Kojin pulled out another vial containing an ancient tamamisu potion. I love tiramisu. Which had been passed down to him from his great-grandfather, or perhaps his great-great-grandfather. To continue the story, upon being given this mixture, the princess was instantly awakened. The moment their eyes met, she and the fisherman fell in love. They were immediately wed in a palace at the bottom of the sea, where they lived happily ever after. Oh, thank you, sir, for taking the time to recount that regaling tale. Regaling? It was truly enlightening. Ivory, from what we've heard, I can only assume this story took place at the Shisui, the Violet Tides. Perhaps we should return to Suinosato and see if we cannot dig up any mention of this incident. Again, thank you very much. You are a man of great wisdom. All right. I wonder how much of this is 63. Boom, 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 boom. Well, I guess we've technically reached end of stream times, so I think I'll just hand in this quest, and that's gonna be it for tonight. Yeah. And can I can dive directly into the water. That's amazing. What speed I have acquired. While I know little of what life is like on the surface, it seems to be a lovely place. The people are incredibly kind. I grew up listening to stories of how pirates would slit your throat the first chance they got, but those Onoro seemed rather cordial, though perhaps I have your presence in part to thank for that. Shiosai shall be joining us shortly. Most stories of the Suinosato are passed down orally. He should be able to tell us if any of our own stories match the tale of the fisherman recounted. No problem. Thanks for coming to the stream. Thanks for the evening. Thank you to you two as well. And I will look up. It seems like the font I have found does not support. Yeah, I think it only supports like the what's it called? The simple alphanumeric. Yeah. It is how it is. A tale in which a Huron fisherman and a princess were brought together by a Kojin and wed in a palace under the sea. It sounds almost as though the story about Shisui of the Violet Tides, though the part about the Ruby Princess marrying a might be something of an embellishment. To the contrary, Your Grace, I believe generations back, a Ruby Princess and a Hurrian man were once joined in holy matrimony. Their son they bore was said to have had almost no scales. Until now, I had considered it to be merely a tall tale spun by the elders for the grandchildren, yet it is possible that the story is true. Then there is a chance that the remedy also exists. It is not impossible. Your Grace, I must apologize to you. If I were being completely honest, I thought all your hope in Lady Hizui's recovery was lost. What you tell me, however, has revived my hope. You are a born leader. Through your actions, you have reversed all our fates. That is incredibly kind of you to say, but without this wonderful lady beside me, we would have never come so far. I'm just a fucking kid. Indeed, Mistress Salix Alba. Please accept my deepest thanks as I can rest knowing that Her Grace in the village remains safe. Thumbs up. Now, Your Grace, I suppose you are about to announce your intention to travel where the Kojin of the Blue reside in search of this miracle cure. Wish you safe travels. It is discrimination, yeah. How about you just write in regular script Ah! Get wrecked. Ivory, at long last, I can see the light. Hisui might finally be saved. Oh, get me out of this cutscene. And now that I've completed it, I want to start the next one just so that I don't forget it. God dang it. Okay, hold on. Ivory, are you ready to go? Good, then let us immediately set out for Tiramisu. While Tsuino Sato has known the most isolated from the rest of the world, we have little contact with the Kojin of the Blue. This, however, will be my first time visiting the village. I mean, to avoid discrimination is the answer why you would. You have been here before, excellent. Then you should be able to show me around. Okay, it is done. It is done. I mean, maybe, just maybe. I'm just gonna teleport here, but I'm not going to continue the quest tonight. Damn, I got a lot of XP. Where did all of this XP come from? Oh, I guess completing the main story patch quest gave me a whole boatload. Yeah, so this is just many countries use the Cyrillic alphabet. Yeah, but not this font. So, you know, get wrecked. Is all I have to say about that. Yeah, and that's going to be it for the night. I think I'm just gonna head off just now and forever hold my peace. I'm not going to that's a lot of muscle. Thank you very much for coming in. Thank you for allowing discrimination, or at least begrudgingly accepting it. It is what I'm here to do. That sounds wrong. I am here to make some modicum of... Oh yeah, that's my Discord. That's how I ping people for how I go stream, and sometimes share my memes. And maybe one day turn into something a bit bigger, but we'll see. And yeah, moderately entertaining. That's me. That's my job. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. That's what I will continue to be doing. And I come at the call of my heart. Oh, how poetic was the word I was looking for, but couldn't remember. And yeah, that's it. I will now say the goodbyes, and I will stop all of these streaming things. So, goodbye, and thank you for coming. Even though there was some technical hiccups at the beginning, I have no idea how I actually fixed it, but I have a minor idea of what I have to do the next time. So, goodbye. Nico, stay home from work tomorrow, and the rest of you, go to work tomorrow. Yeah, that's all of you. Every single one. I don't care if you don't have a job. I don't care if you're off tomorrow. You have to go to work. Except for you, Nico. You have to stay home. Alright. And with that, to all a good night, and to the rest of you, Merry Christmas. Bye bye. And to the no streamers who are watching on YouTube, or also part on YouTube, goodbye.